Hey guys, welcome to the close. Couple hours left in the week. Couple hours left in yet another red trading session. Here we go, back to the downside for all three U.S. markets. S&P 500, 1.5%, 1.37 there for the Dow. The NASDAQ leading again, 2.25%. What a nosedive we saw in mega cap tech shares over lunch time there. We'll talk about how that transpired and what is to come maybe throughout the rest of the afternoon here. Crude oil, worth a note, 1.4% there, back to the upside. So, yeah, I guess we can all expect to pay. Well, that's the wrong way. I guess we can all expect to pay a little bit more for gas by the end of the weekend. A very red board to show you. That is the S&P 500 as it stands right now. Ross Stores up here leading the way in the consumer discretionary group, almost 25% to the downside, dragging the rest of the retailers along with it. TJX, there's Dollar Tree, Dollar General was there as well. I saw about 5%. Travel names also under significant pressure for about the third or fourth day in a row. Cruise lines, 5% across the board. AIM at about 7% to the downside. Deere reported 13%. It goes on and on and on. Same old, same old. Welcome. Welcome to Friday. We're going to bring in Miss V here in a few minutes because it's Miss V Day around here. Yeah, her last ever closing show coming up, guys. Join us in about 90 minutes or so. We'll take some time and thank Miss V for everything she's done for the show and a special presentation as well. Before we do that, I'm making Sean wait. He's very impatient about this, so we'll get to a bit of a review session here as we do to kick things off in the afternoon every afternoon. Join us every afternoon, why don't you? Here comes Sean with a look at one of his trades from this morning.
Thank you, Brendan. Yeah, look, today, wild day. The funny thing is, we talked about it earlier on in the morning, that it seemed like it was Fade Friday. Remember, not Brendan's handsome fade. We're talking about the market fade. And we have been shorting Apple all week. So you know what? We come up with the exact same solution again today. And today's trade is very, very simple. Normally, you're going to see me sitting here trading back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Today, it was one easy trade. And we make the same trade over and over again as many times as we possibly can. And that's this 140 level here for Apple. I marked it down. If you look back here on the 20-minute, look at Apple the last couple days. We've had 40, 140 was an issue there. You go back to the 18th, issue here, tops, these are resistance levels, right? So today, if we were thinking that we wanted to go short on Apple, you could see I don't actually have the NASDAQ here today, down almost 3%, trying to make a comeback. But here's that level again. And we did the same sort of situation where we were as patient as we possibly could be. We let Apple tell us what to do. It gave us this top here. Look how many times we bounced off 140. Happened 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then we said enough is enough. We waited for a little indication from the NASDAQ to start to head down to the downside. And then we put on our short. Look. We always talk here at Trader TV Live about education. What we're trying to do is let you know the risk to reward ratio. As you could probably guess, my out on this trade probably wouldn't have even been that wick. 140.50, some of these other levels that were done up there, right? So that is about a 50-cent or so risk. Look what happens to Apple now. As it comes back down, our first out rate there is actually below 140. It's at the 50 period. Then we take another spot out. Look where this level is, 139.50. Okay, so right there already, we're short that 50 cents. It's already 1-to-1 ratio there. Then it comes back in. And look at this. All these outs here, this is where it's going to look silly because obviously I don't have a crystal ball to see what's about to happen. But look where we start getting at 139. Why, Sean, did you get out at 139? Good question, right? Because look at this. Back into yesterday, we had some actionable events here at 139, including the open. The open's bottom was 138. So as it's coming in, we're starting to get out. Most of these are 138.50, as you guys can see. Out, 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 out. Then we have one out down there at 138. Then the collapse happens. You'll be happy to know that I still have some shares on. So I'm actually still on board with this Apple trade as we're short at 140 and it's down here at 133.70. And guess where I just put my out? Right before I came back on here. Right there, 134.50. Why are we getting out at 134.50? First of all, it'll be a $6 winner against 50 cents worth of risk up there. So far, so good. But look, we tried to get going here at about about noon, 1 o'clock. We tried to get back upside. It failed at 134.50. Then it went down, came right back up, failed again at 134.50. Failed again. So hey, if it takes it one more time, we'll get out. You can't hold on forever, but for Apple, it's been a disaster since it broke $150, right? Here's 150 clean right there. Look at this. Doot, straight down. Absolutely no relief. So we're going to continue to do this every single day until we see the NASDAQ reverse. We're going to try to beat up on Apple a little bit. It's your trade of the day. And as of right now, at 133.67, it's about $6.5, $7 winner there. So it's a good trade for me today. I hope the NASDAQ bounces back for our long-term portfolios. But for right now, let's see the downside. Let's see if Apple tests 132.50.
Yeah, tech getting hit this afternoon in a big way right across the board. Pick one. They're all in negative territory. Microsoft joined the party. Apple joining the party. They were all on the watch list this morning, guys. Make sure you grab the absolutely free watch list every single morning. We send it out before we come on at 8:30 for free. All you need is your email address. Yeah, a bit of a tech wreck once again this afternoon, guys. Let's jump right into things here. Just to throw it out there before we get going, 38, I think it's 38.50 or 38.40, around that area is where the S&P 500 goes into bear market territory. So we're already there, obviously. We're beyond that threshold now, but that becomes a very key level going forward. Let's see if we can't retake that maybe on the way back up. So the 38.40, 38.50 area is going to be, depending on where you're looking at it, is going to be very important as we're rolling over from 38.40 right now. Back to the downside we go.
I actually just shorted a curl in. You know, when I don't know what I like to short, I short a firm. So
That's always good.
I know it's weird, but that's just what it's the go-to. So I jumped into that. But I'll take your 38. Who cares? And I'll raise you 34, 340 on the SPY. Right? I actually just had this conversation with a certain special person in our Trader TV family, and we were talking about the pre-pandemic high. At 340 on the SPY. Key price, big monster level, 10% from here. And a lot of people are saying could be the bottom. So we look at what's going on today, and room abound. And this is the perspective that sometimes you really need in the market to be able to see. And that's that pre-pandemic top. And yeah, you get into that correction territory, and then you don't, if you don't hold this. I don't want to sit here and saying like, okay, we absolutely are not going to hold this level. But if we don't hold this, the next significant one is what a lot of people have talked about, is that 340 on the SPY. And this is what we started talking about. You have your stink bids, or where do you dollar cost average? I mean, people have been saying this, and it feels like after seeing Microsoft and Apple and a whole host of other names, you can throw them all out there, not able to hold these bids. I mean, we'll have Costco next week. We'll see if it can hold up. But John Deere got absolutely shellacked today, another big company that got destroyed. And if you think people are usually rushing to the exits to sell John Deere down 10%, it's like these are the markets that we're in right now.
I picked up some more Goog L during lunchtime. That was the only dip buy. Well, because there's Goog L and there's Goog. They're different share classes. But we picked up some more there today in this wreck. And look, S&P 500, obviously that's what we're talking about there, hits the bear market. Neil just talked about the SPY. And yeah, it's been real nasty. I mean, the NASDAQ was already down 30% before today. And then you're adding back this 2.67. So you're going to be around that 30%, 32% number there on the short side. It's just been a nasty, nasty trade. I mean, we don't have Microsoft on there, but for me, what really set this market off was that Microsoft just kept on collapsing. We were able to buy here and made money long. Like, Microsoft is one of the only stocks we made money long. And then what happened? This happened. We went short 251. Then the whole world, and I mean, at least all the traders that were here, were screaming and shouting as we approached 250. So we use our big boy shares here and went short on this name. And then we have about 1 million outs here on the downside, which most of them were about 249.50. And then all of these down here are 249 even. Our best out is right where we're at almost right now, 248.60. We have another 248.60 there. And as you can see, we're still short in this name. We didn't get out of anything when it went back up through above 250 there and went to 250.50. I'm still thinking like 251.50 or something like that to get out of Microsoft. But you can see now the market's starting to rally back upside here. So I actually, most likely we'll get out if we take down that tick right there for a 50-cent hit. But we have like 2% left of these shares. Like I said, when this happened, the dollar signs just lit up. We were able to get out once that broke, but I know the topic right now is S&P and tech wreck. And so I just feel like Microsoft finally giving up that 250 right here. It bounced a bunch of times. This is a 20-minute chart. It bounced right there on the 12th. I mean, I was hoping that May 12th was going to be the worst day that I've seen here on the NASDAQ, but no, that enters today, which today's, we had the NASDAQ down 5 or 6%, but Neil and I looked at each other about lunchtime and we go, like, this feels way worse than any of the worst days we've ever felt before.
Really did, man.
So, so when it was breaking there, basically all hell broke loose. Pardon my English there, but Microsoft really collapsed it down. And then we're going to talk about Tesla next. But honestly, Tesla is the one that I want to throw up the most, because earlier on, if you guys were watching, we do have a throw-up graphic. I can find it here somewhere too. We have yours. I don't know if we have mine.
I can't find it.
I'll just do this anyways. We'll slap ourselves around a bit because we talked about Tesla this morning, and we didn't like that name. And I told you that Elon Musk was unhinged. There was something wrong there, and we had an opportunity to get out at 720. We talked about it on the show, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy puts, something like that, sell covered calls, whatever, against my position. And it was 725, and then all of a sudden Tesla goes down $100. So I'm just like bleeding in the long-term account here. Let's see if Tesla can make it back. But wow, Tesla, what a wreck that was.
Yeah, it was definitely a wreck. I mean, the Softy 250, I just want to put it in perspective in the daily chart because we just showed you the S&P. But if you look at Microsoft, like its pre-pandemic top was 190. Like you're actually not even within the 10%. Like you're still a good 20%, actually check that more than that, I'm close to 25% above that when this 250 broke, and such a big psychological level did hold. And it's worth mentioning, like if we're looking at this pullback to the upside and seeing what we can do, we have barely even been able to get back, even that bounce was barely able to get back above 250 on Microsoft. And it's hard for the market to really get going without Microsoft, without Apple. That's just going to be the way that it is. And you understand that they're so overweight in these indexes that they did the heavy lifting. And that's the reason why the run-up was so good the last few years. It's because of what you got out of big tech. And that works both ways, and that's what we're seeing a little bit here today.
To Tesla. It's not often you get to say Tesla is SSR today. It is. It was down 10% or more at the bottom there. Now just 8.7. But more importantly, levels are gone here, guys. Like that was maybe the last line in the sand there, going back to, what was that, February. We had that February low. That gets taken out today. These past two support levels get taken out today. There's so many angles you can take with the Tesla story. We talked about Elon, maybe coming unhinged a little bit. He was making actual positive comments when in Brazil today regarding autonomous driving and development of such a thing in the company, and saying, it could be done by the end of this year. So, I mean, there's still lots to play with for Tesla.
Look, it's funny you say that, like, hey, Tesla's SSR.
Unplugged.
But I'm pretty sure that's happened like half a dozen times this year. Maybe it's like 4 or 5, but it has happened quite a bit, especially in this bear market, like at least 4 times, I want to say. Like, look, it's back in April, we had a monster day to the downside. We had at least a couple here. You got one in Jan, one in February, almost once a month. Outside of that huge run that we had off that Fed bottom in March, outside of that, like you've had some serious downside. I feel like this is, I don't know, once again, it's the same thing over and over for me today. I said I would not get shaken out. Like yesterday, the long 700 in Tesla, I let it shake out because of that crazy whipsaw action in the morning. And today I was like, just be patient, let it pick a direction off that 720 level. And when it picked down, we jumped into the short side of the trade. And as usual, by the time it was at like 680, I was picking bottoms.
Yeah.
Try to go long. And so like I tried counting this up, and I think I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I said like 10. I tried 7 times scalping the bottom on Tesla to only not have it when it finally broke the 650. And even then, it was only like a $20 move. Considering it's down $100, well, $90, $80, $90 from the top. Not much of a bounce in Tesla, but under just a tremendous amount of pressure, whether it's Elon personally, whether it's the Twitter thing, whether it's the valuation. This is what's been happening this year, and it leads to it going SSR a few times. And I can tell you right now, the liquidity when Tesla broke 650, Microsoft broke 250, and Apple at the same time, I think it was a 135. All three, more or less within the same couple of minutes. The one that had the bid that evaporated was Tesla, and it wasn't even close. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at here when we're trading Tesla. But I'm just kicking myself over that short. Like, that could have been an all day long type of thing. And then once again, it was like the same thing as yesterday. You get in, get out, too much scalping in Tesla.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do with Microsoft and both Apple, trying to hold a little bit of this. But, I mean, Tesla's forward PE is still 45. I mean, It's like, in this environment, we're bashing, Apple for having a 24 PE, things like that, And then you come up with Teslas, and you still see that it's 45. I want to give a big shout out. Who was it here in the chat? Oh, I want to say your name, but I can't find it anymore. It's too far up. But someone said that Tesla, the problem with Tesla, and I don't know, I mean, there's a few problems, honestly, but it was that Elon Musk is both an asset, and a liability at this point. So it's like, you can complain about him all you want, but at the same time, we all look to him for the next moves as well. So let's just hold out hope here that Tesla can find a footing. I don't think it's going to for the next little while. He needs to really step away, I feel like, and focus again. And then Tesla hopefully finds some kind of a bottom. I'm just, this stock for me, like, I don't have a problem buying more Apple, buying more Google, Softy, Facebook, things like that. But honestly, to put more money into Tesla, like, is just crazy. I'm lucky enough that I got involved almost at the bottoms of COVID. So even right now, my position's probably 1,000% in the money, honestly. But it's just like, it doesn't matter where your position was. It matters on where it's going. And the thing is, we could have saved a little bit of money by getting short or getting out of Tesla earlier. Today, it still has valuation problems. It definitely has leadership problems at this point. And we know ARK has been selling Tesla as well. Like, you know what? If Kathy Wood is selling Tesla, she's picked probably, the worst decisions, right?
She's selling at the
I'm
bottom
wondering if that's a good thing if she's selling now at this point, because her ARK has been getting killed. So
yeah, like we're not joking around. We were joking about the fact that Roku was now the biggest holding in the main. Tesla's in every single one of those ETFs that they have. So obviously, overall, it's still gonna be a bigger holding, I guess. But Roku, which, I mean, come on. Like Roku is a bigger weight in the main ARK index than Tesla. Like, is there anybody that actually wants to bet which one of these two companies will be a major player in their sector in the next 10 years? There are 0 people out there, probably including the CEO of Roku, that would be willing to make that bet for half their life savings.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you right now.
I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm going to say shout out to Don't Know 443. Sean equals Chuck Norris. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know.
Any Chuck Norris call is
I'm kind of down with Chuck Norris. But meanwhile, we just got out of our Facebook. I actually didn't realize we had to stop there, but we got out of it. We're fine with that. And then as we've been talking about Tesla, it fell like $6 there, just as we were talking about it. So yeah, definitely a slippery slope here on Tesla, Brendo.
Right, let's go on to more destruction in the retail space. Ross Stores becomes the latest to come out and miss with their latest quarterly results, and even worse on the forecast as well. I mean, it's the same old story, but wow, what a move for ROST.
And this could have been trade of the day.
It could have been, but I think part of the issue is what are you going to learn the most from, I think. And we obviously went over the Rost and every single one of these retailers pretty much every day. And if you, throughout this week, once what happened to Walmart happened, I think you kind of knew the writing was on the wall for any miss that happened in the retail sector. So Rost, whether you'd heard of them before today, they had gapped down, over 25%. There was a resistance level, first at 72, then again at 74, 75, and it was just a short the pop. In this market, how aggressive could the buyers be? This was not something that was going to sit there and have a gigantic short interest where you might get that bounce. Instead, it was just be patient at the open because it's going to try to get bought up because it's down so far. A lot of people like to hope that they can get that big buy and it fills in a big piece of the gap. In this market, that's a good way to get punished. It's oddly enough found a bid, so congratulations to Ross for finding a bid above $70. That's why I've gotten out of it. But man, if we retest the low of the day today after the bounce we just saw, and Ross breaks 70, I'll probably be short Ross once again on a 70 break. However, at down 24%, it's short sell restricted, which just about every retailer that has missed has done. Next week, we get Costco and Macy's. And yeah, I mean, help us if Costco
look
actually.
out below
If
possibly
Costco
on that
doesn't have a good quarter, which they might not, that's another one that could just get shellacked. And a company you wouldn't expect to trim 10% a day. And these things can happen now.
I mean, right here, guys, welcome. We have the watch list on tradertv.live, raw stores all over that. We also had it on our sticky note. Look at this, $72, right? Up to the 74 short. Horrid cord. Missed on retail everywhere. Retail's been horrible. Let's go short. So that's what we had written on there. And then, I mean, Neil just went over the trade. We both had basically the same trade. I was able to reload it got in the pre-market, then reload it again. The thing is, if I can zoom this, let me see if I can just do that one more time. Yeah, there it is. Okay, good. So you could see right here, we did get taken out when it took down that 74.50. That was our out. So 100%, we were out of that one. But then within minutes, it came screaming back down, and I punched the short through 73.50 again. So we take the loss, so that's $1. Then we got this on the way back up and got out and got hit for $1, or I guess it was about $1. Got hit for $1 there, then hit the short, and then look what happened. Then it started collapsing. That print right there is 71, right? So we're 73. Then we got out of a little bit more when it went back up to 73 again. And then there's my final out for raw stores when it took down the 50 period there at $70.80. So again, a profitable name for us. Should have it been held? Maybe, but Neil's right. Right now, we're looking to break that 70 one more time. That never came through for us. I was actually bidding down here $67. When you're a retail name like this getting hit, look out below. But there's a nice trade. It's a $3 winner for Ross. It was on the watch list. It's on the sticky note. So yeah, that's a good trade for us. Raw stores today. And again, Brendan, I don't think it's rocket science. I saw the name on the watch list. It was a retail name, so we hit the short. Raw stores, sorry about that, bud, but you've been just getting killed over the last little while. Costco, you're up next, followed by Macy's.
Yeah, very good point. Still a lot more to come next week, starting on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. We'll get Macy's, we'll get Costco, as Sean was saying. So big week to come. We came in this morning talking about NIO. There was multiple positive catalyst behind NIO. It was up about 6%, in fact, in the pre-market after its Singapore debut. They came out and said they're going to add it to the tech index over on the Hang Seng as well, which also includes Alibaba, it includes Li Auto, it includes XPeng. So NIO, the last to go into that. But another one went green to red in a hurry this morning.
All right. So we talked about the sticky note. The number one name on the sticky note today was NIO, also again on our watch list, but this is what it was to me. There it is, and here's me. But no, it beat me up today, man, NIO. Look at this. So I'm not going to show you my trade, but if you can come to the screen, and then I'll show it to you afterwards. So NIO today opens up at $18, right? It's been a beautiful long. Look at this level. This is how I trade, and I've actually thought about it. I was beating myself up, over these trades, and we talked about this earlier. This is a trade that I make 10 times out of 10. This 17 held there, and then, was resistance there, and then resistance again. Once you break above resistance on what was good news, I'm going long into this 17 over and over and over again. So now let's look at what my trades were. Here's my trade. And I described this earlier. We're lucky enough to get out of the way because it fell all the way to 15, but there it is, right? Here's 17. Right here, look, top, right? 17's all over the place here. So what we did, we started the bid at the pre-market low, 17.50, got it some more at 17.40, averaged in down here at 17.08, was able to get it back up. So at this point, we're about flat on the trade. It's fine. But then we take another bid again, then it dumps through 17. We actually get out at 16.90 right there. We tried it one more time at 16.80, got out on 16.70, only took 10 cents worth of risk there. Then all of a sudden, it just obviously, like the market, collapsed back in. So, hey, look, when NIO goes positive listing in Singapore, right? Plus added to the Hang Seng Technology Index, plus breaks above. You had the trifecta there. Breaks above this level here at 17. I'm going long, and I'm getting hit on this one. So all I say today is it's a roller coaster ride for me on NIO, and I'm fine with this hit. There's other trades today I'm not happy with, okay? But this one, I followed the rules, and you know what? A hit is a hit. We can't celebrate and say we got 7 straight winning days. we got those days based on the same trading style that I use today. So today we're going to be red. We had a great trade on Facebook, so we brought a lot of that back. But we were able to get out of the way, and I feel pretty good about losing on NEO today, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and it was a tough one on NEO because it actually set up. It did set up for a short, but the short was at 18 to 18.30 from what I saw, and it never broke 18, so it never got in the range of getting that trapping the longs above on a breakout. So it never came in. Lucid was a similar name, very, very similar.
Wow,
they had the catalyst yesterday, and you had that 20 level. It rolled over, but there was that nice channel that we just thought it was so strong, 1850. We tried to defend it. And this is one of those things. Like if 1850 is your level, it tried to bounce. It did go from about 65 into 19, and that worked. We reloaded when it came back in front of that 50, and then it broke. And they just had to walk away. But the only mistake that I think almost across the board is all these outs that started coming in on the longs that we liked, they were basically all just golden reverses. Right, like that big key level on Lucid, it was clean at 1850. Like you were never out of the money if you just reversed a short, and now we get to stare in the face a week-long support at $17, which could easily come into play as we retest some of these lows. So, watch for. I mean, we're watching Tesla obviously, but Lucid as well. NEO, you just mentioned coming back to those bottoms. They're all here at these lows once again. So, yeah, it's a hold on to your shorts type of event.
It's a red afternoon, as we said. It's also a very important afternoon. It's been a major week for us here at the show. We're so happy, guys. Thank you once again from everyone here for 300,000 subscribers. We hit that earlier in the week. We're celebrating that, but we're also celebrating something very special to all of us, and that is the person who's sitting next to me. You can't see her, but she's right there. Miss V is here. It's her last day. We have Bubbly on ice waiting for the end of the show. We have something special coming at the end of the show as well, so make sure no one goes anywhere, guys, until the end of the show. Join us right at probably 3:45, 3:50 before we get into the close. We have something special for Miss V, so make sure you're all here for that. We have a few minutes right now, so I'm going to do this. Watch the board because there's going to be another one added to the board. Yeah, we're going to talk about Miss V's Tesla trade from today because she had probably one of her best trades ever on Tesla today, but at the same time, Miss V, it was maybe the second one that hurt.
Absolutely, Brandon, you said right. I had one of the most best trades on Tesla today. So as you guys can show my screen, I was shorting Tesla. Tesla still on SSR, down around 10%. And as you can see, I was taking out everything I could, shorting Tesla. And then, ta-da, I lost majority of my profit because I didn't have my stop loss, and I was $22 per share in the money. Now I'm $4 per share in the money. Anyway, still profitable day for me. And guys, remember my words. Please make sure you use those stop losses. Better save your profit, re-enter into the trade if it will work for you, but just save your profit, use those stop losses. That's the thing, like the most important thing I learned while I'm on my live account.
Love it. No better words could be said, I think, from a brand new trader. Learn stop losses, guys. It's so important. Trust Miss V when she says that. I just want to take a sec and say Miss V has had a fearless approach to anything and everything we have thrown at her in the couple of years she's been here, and has been very successful at everything that we've asked of her and gotten her to do. So I know from the three of us, Neil and Sean and myself, we thank her for everything she's done. But guys, pretty impressive trade on Tesla today.
Yeah, I'd like to say so. I mean, the thing that most people don't always understand, when you trade on a prop floor and you're trading with someone else's money, like there are very tight risk controls for your daily loss limits. And suffice to say that trading a stock as volatile as Tesla, well, it was a $700 stock this morning, now $600 stock with a smaller shutdown is near impossible. It gets very difficult to do. And Valeria's been doing that on a daily basis. She hasn't shied away from it, and she's stuck to it. And I'll tell you, man, like I've traded Tesla every single day this week, and I've like bungled this and bungled that, and there's zero fear. And that's the one thing, and forget about trading. just in life in general, right? Like the ability to sort of jump at new challenges, meet them head on, and have no fear when it comes to accepting them. That's something that Miss V has in spades, and it's going to be sorely missed. Like, we all, everybody here, you do it. Like, we all celebrate when she has a good Tesla trade, and we can't wait to see her driving around in one of those bad boys, right?
Yeah.
Although,
Did we
talk about the? I forget what color you said you liked it. Sorry, what color?
One. I mean, I go for red, but would be more logical if I choose green.
Nah, don't drive around in a green Tesla.
Not a green car.
No, it's a bad look. Yeah, no, I'd stamp the red.
Yeah,
That's
red is.
Well, you know what? I like the matte. Like, there's a matte black. That looks pretty dangerous, man. Because then you look like you're rolling around in like a Batmobile or something like that. But yeah. So that's going to be amazing. Obviously, no more kind words for her than what's been said. I mean, we respect her a great deal, and we wish her all the best in her future endeavors. And like Brendan said, I'm excited for what's going to be coming down at about 3:45. So that should be good. Pay attention to that one. But until then, lots of stuff to talk about here.
Yeah, this market's
this market. And as I was speaking there, or as you guys were speaking, sorry, I was typing in the chat. I was like, uh-oh, Softy. Look what's happening to Softy. It's back to its day low right now. We're still $2 in the money on that short. Like I said, when this happens, I just get out like as fast as I can. We took one of our bigger positions. Why? Because when Apple broke 150, it was cascaded to the downside. Oh, yeah. Microsoft, for some reason, was catching bids down here. So I don't know what that's all about, but we're trying to crank lower right now. I don't even have a stop order on this Microsoft trade. It was up here. That's 250 away. So no, I don't have anything, and no stops until at least this level. And I'm honestly thinking that's for sure a reload, if not more than that. So we'll see what happens here as Softy continues to go to the downside. Our Apple trade is still involved with as well. That didn't take out this 134.50. Let's see if that continues to go to the downside. And then right now, we had a monster bottom there. We had a monster bottom trade in Facebook. We took a 188 against that wick, and this is what I was saying. It never worked all the way down until finally we had that. It broke to the high side. We're able to take out $2, $2.50 on this name. We're back in right now against this 189 or so. I don't know if it's going to work, but hey, what's been aggressive today in the market has been Facebook longs when they've worked, right? Obviously, the whole market's been falling down here, but Facebook only down 0.9 against the market down 3%. So for me, I like this trade here, but it's going to come out if we break through 189, guys. That's Facebook. One last shot at the long here.
Yeah, and I did get back into Rost. Back in. It broke that 70. We just talked about 70 getting taken out. 69.50, pretty big if it takes that, the lows. This was actually at 66 one point in the pre-market, so I did get into that. I did take some of my Affirm trade out, and I would like to rinse and repeat this one if it even gives me a chance to do so. Like, it curled off 24, and I should show you the higher time frame because that's where it came from. And this was yesterday's support. We were holding at the open, and this thing just shot through that level back to the highs, and that's exactly where it rejected. So right at the opening support yesterday is where Affirm has turned around. If it gets back to 24, I'll try to short off that level. But otherwise, I'm trying to hold this into the bottom, like both these into the lows. If the market cracks the bottom, I just sort of feel like, what can happen on a Friday, right? And by the way, there's some games happening on GOVX. 102 and 103, bit of a stack bid. We'll see if it's actually real, but that's part of the monkeypox group there.
Monkeypox.
It's SIGA, SIGA, GOVX, and there's one other one. So they're in that group. It's following SIGA a little bit, but not as much.
Earlier this week, we learned of a brand new position from famed short seller, I guess we could say, Michael Burry, coming out revealing that not only is he short Apple, he has been short Apple since Q1 of this year. This was the note that we saw earlier in the week, indicating that, in fact, Michael Burry, guys, has a short position using options in Apple. This is not the first time that he has done this. The most important part and the most important question we can ask here is, does this mean Apple is now a buy?
So I want to maybe give a little bit more color to this because part of what got released in the 13F filings was that he'd been buying a few names as well. And I think if you consider, so he was buying some Alphabet and buying some Meta, and I think it was maybe Bristol Myers and a couple of interesting names there. But what they have in common, at least the first two have in common, that Apple doesn't, is if you think about the valuations of both those names, like Meta being like a 14 right now, so already in the teens, and Google just barely above that, barely above the 20s, and the 4P under 16, and Apple, relatively speaking, is still a little bit expensive. So from that perspective, it actually made some sense what he was trying to accomplish there. He's saying, okay, well, I want to pick the value names to be dip buying, but the one that had held up, and that is Apple. If you just, this entire time, like going back until the beginning of May, you were still trying to hold on to the 200 period moving average. In January, Apple was still just churning away off of higher lows back at 180, and really had been driving the market to the upside. And then you start to consider, I know we'll probably talk about some of the headwinds that they face with China and supply chain. And when you throw that in there, it was a bit of a measured move. So I don't know if it's as simple to say that that's the bottom, because if memory serves, I think when that Tesla trade got put on and some of the other shorts that Michael Burry had, when those got taken out, that actually ended up being the top. Mm-hmm. Like he seemed to have it close to right, and again, I mean it's only good in horseshoes and grenades. But he seemed to have it close to the top, and he seemed to be just about right. And if he to put that trade on in early January, he had it good, right? And obviously we don't know where he plans to get out or whatnot, but that's essentially about that top. And there's room to go to the downside on the SPY. My guess is that some of that has probably been covered, but we don't know for sure.
All right, so yeah, it's very, very interesting about that Tesla talk with Michael Burry. And look, this is Apple, and I think when you're talking about Apple, you need to just keep it real as much as you possibly can. And honestly, I have a weekly time frame out here now, so this chart, in my opinion, is much more appropriate here for Apple to have a quick look, okay? Like, my big discussion about it was here, in June, right down here where we dipped down, of 2019, Apple's PE was 15, okay? It started just to accelerate. Obviously, you have some dip downs here. This is COVID, dip down to $60, okay? Like, Apple was $60 at COVID time. We went up to 180, okay? Almost in a straight line, as did the whole market. When this happened, of course, they started to add some of those services. They added Apple TV. The Apple Watch started going off as well. So it got re-rated a little bit, right? So it became not just a hardware company, but sort of like a lifelong, commitment for people through iTunes, buying the watches, investing in, like I just said there, Apple TV. They're talking about Apple Fitness. They've released a whole bunch of stuff. So it became much more of like a subscription-based model that they were trying to focus on. So what wound up happening is, as of the first quarter, and even right now, Apple's PE is 25. So you go from 15 down here back in 2019, and we're only in 2022. So you go back 2-3 years, you're 15, 16, 17 PE. Now all of a sudden, Apple comes out and is now at 25, and this is where he's shorted. Look, they became on January, I wrote it down here, January 3rd, right? Apple, which is up right in here, became $3 trillion at 184. I believe the price was 183 something, was a $3 trillion company. To me, that sparked people to start to look into it. This is the first $3 trillion company. What maybe are some holes here to bring this stock down? And let's talk about it. On April 28th, right? So you're right into here. Remember, this is a weekly chart. So you're right into here. Apple came out with earnings that actually beat the market, right? So they came out with 158 versus 142, but they warned about China's slowdown, and we know China's zero COVID policy. That shut down their factories over there in China. Not only that, it also shut down retail over in China. Plus, you have a lot of the U.S. companies, the store in New York, so on and so forth, going through changes. There is a little bit of labor discussion there on the U.S. side as well for their Apple stores. So I feel like there are some headwinds, but there's also tailwinds involved with Apple. So 17.86% of Michael Burry's holdings, you mentioned that he was going long, were puts. So they're puts in the form of a short, right? So whenever you have puts, you're short the stock. They were put on early in the first quarter. We don't know when they're off. So when you have puts and then you have a dramatic move, Brendan, like we're seeing right here, down to 133, I believe he's won. This is a win for him. So where does he cover? I would think that if you go all the way back a year, back into last April, you're here at 130 again. So I think like this is close. We're at 133 right now for Apple. So I'll move this chart away. Here's a more recent daily. So if he's got puts on that are somewhere in the first quarter, this is the first quarter. So now that's a monster win been, especially with Apple, they wouldn't have been that expensive. So I think he rings the register. So to answer your question, is this a bottom for Apple? I mean, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are going to say no. But as far as possibly Michael Burry covering, I would think that as smart as he is, there's probably been some covers here. So I think, like, you know, this is probably a good spot to start to nibble in one of the best companies out there.
It's not the first time we've heard this story, and it won't be the last. We're going to have to wait a couple months, though, to actually see where this position is for him. But is, in fact, Apple a buy? When isn't Apple a buy? Let's be honest. Let's talk about a couple things here. I wanted to mention real quick before we get to Frank Caberna's coming up. We're going to talk about crypto and how crypto markets have seen a little bit more correlation with the stock market overall, with Frank in a second here, guys. But there was a big move in Bitcoin as well midday with the overall NASDAQ back to the downside. Not only did we take out 30,000 again, we also took out 29,000 again. So even crypto stocks can't hide.
Damn. Well,
Damn.
We can say that. I like Farouk, actually. It was Farouk.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. Because he was like many characters.
Yes,
you know,
he
You know what I'm
was.
talking about. Yeah. But so the interesting thing is, this is my first trade. Well, it's my second day trading UVXY, but it's my first trade today. And I'm not lying. I've literally made, and UVXY dropped from like 18 to 15. It was 15 this morning, was 18 yesterday. And yet somehow I just put on the exact same short from yesterday. Like in the morning was a breakdown through 17.6. And then it just put in a lower high, pretty much the exact same price. I got 54th. It's not exactly the same. But that's how crazy a ride it has been. No, I didn't have any of those longs. I know a lot of you guys were playing that long to the upside, including Trader Prad had the long on UVXY. So volatility's been going ham, but it is pulling back a little bit. Look, I'm sitting in a short in a firm in Ross Stores or Roost or Ross, whatever we're calling it. So this is not really a hedge, but in some ways it kind of is a little bit of a hedge. But volatility just all over the place. And I missed out big time on Coinbase today, both Neo and Coinbase. Those are ones that'll just, they hit home because it's my favorite setup. But lately, I just sort of feel, and there's a solution to this problem, by the way, and that I'll probably explain to you guys. Lately, whenever there's that pop and fade style trade, a lot of the way that made me catch it, because I didn't want to chase it when I had that secondary move, and the way to get it is to simply just say, okay, if you have to chase it, just take a few less shares, and then you only get more if it comes up to your price. At least that way you have a piece of the pie when it eventually falls. But that was coin, and when it put on this fail at 70, and it came here, I even said, I'm like, oh, the coin looks like a good short here. I put the offer at 70, couldn't get it. I tried getting down 79.60, 69.70, couldn't get it, and then you just see it drop. It hasn't tested 60 even, so I guess that's still in play, but for how long, who knows?
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm interested to hear what Frank has to say, obviously, about this, as he's given some, bang-up ideas on the dollar, interest rates, everything, 10-year. So it'd be interesting to hear what he has to say about the crypto market for sure. But let's go over quickly here some altcoins. So I've been like this coin, I use CoinGecko. See, it's not even working again. I was going to show it to you. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. So let's put this up. I guess there's a lot of people accessing crypto sites right now. But even after, there's been some destruction definitely in the space. But Bitcoin, and this is why I'm interested to hear, Frank, like it's held up in all of this. Like I know you're not going to say it's held up that well, but it's still 29,000 is the same as 30,000 for Bitcoin, trust me, right? We do have lower bottoms. We can talk about charting. We could look all at that. We're looking at 24, something like that. If that breaks, that might be a good level to start buying. People think Ethereum at 18, which we saw already, is a decent buy. And we're going to go over some more levels. But, you do have a little bit of action here. Like, this is just how volatile these things are. Like, in the last 7 days, Solana's actually up 9%. It just goes to show you that there's a lot of these names that have just been getting cracked. We all know about Terra Luna, what happened to that stock, that coin, I guess, just decoupling. And, you got to pick and choose your names. That's why I feel like even a Coinbase or a Hut 8, something like that actually, is holding and mining some of these other names might be good for a run as well. But for me, I continue to nibble at the space. I'm less confident now than before. But hey, as far as a store of value and a possible asset class, I can't hate on Bitcoin right here. I think for 30,000, it may be worth taking a stab. But let's go over to Brendan with Frank and see what he's up to.
Yes, let's indeed. Let's get more on exactly what we're talking about here. Frank Caberna is Director of Product Content and Creative at the Small Exchange in Chicago. Good to see you as always, sir. It's been a crazy week, obviously, right across the board for not only equities, but crypto markets, crypto stocks, as we'll refer to them here this afternoon. But give us your take here. I mean, there's been more correlation between these two markets than ever, but yet we are seeing some of the crypto markets, Bitcoin specifically, holding up even a little bit better in some circumstances.
Yeah, it's really interesting here, Brendan, and also thanks for having me on. Love being here with you and the Trader TV peeps, but especially going into the close here, it looks like we're set to close through new lows in NASDAQ. Bitcoin actually holding in pretty well, and I do want to draw some correlations between tech stocks and Bitcoin, and then also go to a unique index from the small exchange here in a second that actually puts together Bitcoin, ETH, and a number of those stocks like Coinbase into a more diversified section of the crypto market there. But I do want to point out tech stocks, as everybody knows, it's so hard sometimes because we're getting so into this stock market. We watch it so often, Brendan, every minute of every day here that they'll let us trade it. We're in there, that some of the prices get muddled and you don't even think about the fact of where we are in the grand scheme of things. And you're seeing tech stocks right now sitting at those mid 2020 prices. You move on to Bitcoin and we're teetering right at that 30K level once again. And that is also coinciding with those previous lows in tech stocks that aren't the lows of the lows, but have been stopping points in the past that we've bounced off of. So a really intriguing point here to point out that Bitcoin is at 30K. What's really intriguing to me, we created this index about a year ago, and we've got futures on it trading for the last several months here, and it's the crypto stock market. And you can see here when you mix in tech stocks that are beat up and Bitcoin that's beat up, the actual cryptocurrencies, into a full-fledged crypto stock market in here, it's all-time lows in here going back to 2018 and those time frames where Bitcoin and the tech sector have been lower than we are today. And so you're really getting the value of the value, so to speak. And if we go to the percentage change chart, you can see this in a little bit starker contrast, where on the year, Brennan, you've got the tech sector down 25%. You've got Bitcoin down 35%. When you put those two together, the tech stocks in the crypto part of the market, you've got a market that's down more than 50%, been cut in half just this year alone. And I think that's a really intriguing place for someone like myself to start as an investor, because Brendan, I'm not a huge cryptocurrency is the future of society and making those kind of cases for why I need to believe in Bitcoin as the one true God. But I love a good value when it's out there. And right now, those crypto stocks, man, are showing some of the best value in a down equity market. And so, to your point and the other guys here on the network's point, from a pure price action perspective, I got to be intrigued by stocks that have been cut in half, especially in this product that we have here that's diversified across a bunch of cryptos and stocks, and not just one specific part of the market there.
Yeah, let's break this down a little bit further. We'll throw up this chart, I guess, of everything that's included in that. Just give everyone a little bit of a rundown at what exactly we're looking at here and what exactly we're looking at when we talk about this product.
Yeah, because here's the deal, Brendan. When you have a new up-and-coming asset class like crypto or pot stocks of a few years ago, it's always fun to think about man, if I buy the right crypto stock, I could take off. I could 10x, and that's all great to think about there and dream of. But I really like to enter a new market like this in a diversified way. And so what we did is we put together Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can see they're using the grayscale products. They actually make up the biggest weightings of our small crypto futures here. We put those together, already diversifying across the coins themselves, but then threw in more than a dozen stocks in the sector here, presenting what I think is a really well-rounded, diversified way to get into this market. And of course, there are stocks in here, and I think it's NCTY is down 70% this year, and Coinbase is also down closer to 60 or 70%, that are down more than this index itself. And so you can get the value of the value if you want, but I get really fearful of the specific risk of stocks in a part of the equity asset class, Brendan, that's already really volatile. And so I really like taking a look at that product there. And you can go to smallexchange.com for more info on it. And right now it's priced pretty nicely at about a $1,200 futures product, requiring just about $600 or $700 in margin to trade to get exposure to Bitcoin, ETH, and like I say, more than a dozen stocks in that sector. It's nice to diversify in a market like that, right?
It's a great concept and, a great idea in the sense that we're seeing more and more of this correlation as we, time continues to go by. Real quick, before we wrap up here, it's getting into the time of year. I mean, first long weekend coming up next weekend for our friends in the US. We get our first long weekend of the summer here in Canada this weekend. Let's talk a little bit here about summer trading, Frank, and what do you expect as we head into the summer months, as we get that typical slowdown in the market? What are you excited about going into next week?
Well, it'll be really interesting to see, especially with a couple FOMCs sprinkled throughout the summer, that if interest rates continue to be a volatile part of the market, Brendan, I don't think we're going to see that normal summer slowdown, especially volatility not slowing down as we go into, the long weekend for yourselves, and then a long weekend coming up in the U.S. next week. I appreciate the question, because I have done a lot of number crunching in the past, showing that yes, volumes and volatility do tend to decrease in those summer months, but that stock market doesn't know about the summer calendar, the summer month seasonality, if you will, if the Fed is moving around interest rates. So as long as that volatility continues, I think we could still see some interesting trade. And maybe we conclude here, because a market that is seasonally volatile in the summer, given the changes in demand for byproducts like gasoline, is crude oil. And I would be remiss if we didn't bring up that we jumped on Monday, Brendan. You and I talked about selling crude above 110. Market dipped all the way back down to 103. And I have it right up here in my platform. If we throw to it just quickly, just to show that, here in the summer months, when crude oil does tend to get a little bit more volatile, I hope that we stay volatile in this range. This has been one of the best range trades that I've seen out of every asset class that we cover at the small exchange. Every time it dips below $100, it's caught its footing and bounced back, Brendan. Every time we've gotten up to 110 and the news stories start to circulate of, this pipeline shutting down, this restriction, we've actually come off of that fear bid. So definitely want to keep interest rates and I think stocks, especially crude oil, on the table as we head into these summer months. I don't think volatility is coming off anytime soon.
Great stuff. Appreciate the time as always. Frank Caberna, Director of Content, Product, and Creative at the Small Exchange. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Brendan.
A little bit of a move, guys. Back to the upside here.
This has been absolutely awesome, man. We'll go Brendan like that. What a great interview right there for Brendan. There it is. There we go. We're out of Softy, but guess what else is happening right now? We on one again, boys and girls. There's Apple. We went long Apple through that break. Here we go. Let's see if we can get a Friday melt up now, the rest of the way upside. Let's see if that happens. We don't want to get too carried away and get too long, but there it is. We punched along on Apple, and there it is. Let's see if we can get it back up to the upside. We also got a little carried away, not a heavy position, but we're also long on AMD. And by the way, we're $1.50. Mamma mia, this is for my paisan Peter. Mamma mia. as he goes there. Likes that Italian pizza. Right up to the upside. There goes Facebook. Nice move upside right there. So, hey, maybe things are starting to turn around and look a little cheery here on a Friday. I'm not sure if it's going to be rally central or anything like that. You could see here with my Apple trade, we've taken some out. It moved up to the upside there. We covered our $6 winner right there and reversed it long. So we were right into the long side here. Let's see what Apple wants to do now as it's trying to go upside. Let's go Apple. Let's go Facebook. Let's go AMD. And hey, if it fades, we know where we can get out. Let's see if it wants to work here upside on these names.
By the way, the liquidity on UVXY went from, I'd say, normal. And then once there was like, Chandra goes, I'm long. And I looked over, I was filled on the bid, and it was just almost like a liquidity vacuum. Like just everything died. Like level 2 turned into an absolute abyss. Remember I said it was quote stuffing in this bad boy yesterday, where most of it's just algos stuffing the spread? Now that's exactly what you saw. And then there was this redonkulous candle. I couldn't cancel my bid in front of 17. It just fell like an absolute rock. All the shorts got sopped out. And then, like a short on UVXY is essentially a long in the market, right? If you think about that correlation, so that's what just happened is that big rollover. So it looks like we're going to get a bit of a correction back to the upside in the markets. Volatility still, I mean, it's still up 5%.
Yeah,
but, you saw the huge release of pressure just there. You don't really see that very often. I'm like, what the heck just happened? My first instinct was to actually check Twitter to see if something had happened. That was my first gut instinct, that something had actually hit the wire, but I think it was just all coiled up, and then little powder keg just got released. Wow, 300,000 shares just sat on the offer? That you don't see very often. Someone's actually taking a fill on UVXY for the tone of 350,000 shares. They just got half of it at 17 even.
Yeah, I mean, it's done 100 million shares today. That UVXY, those things are nuts. Okay, so AMD got pushed a little higher there. We took some out right now. This name may not want to go. Look at the imbalances here. We're starting to fade back down now, so watch out. We got excited there, and just like Neil said, the powder keg went off there. Nice little move to the upside. We saw that. But then look at this. This is a wick off top. Like we talk about this all the time. That was excitement. People got taken out on their shorts. Nice little blow up to the upside. Faded right back down right now. But I hear Brendan in my ear. What's up?
Yeah, just quickly, guys. A few people mentioning DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corporation, moving here. Apparently, Trump put a message on Truth. I don't even know what that's called. I was going to say tweeted, but it's not obviously tweeting. But he said something to the effect of Truth is better than Twitter. And that was it.
Truth is better than
Twitter?
Oh, truth is better than Twitter. I don't know. Oh, look, this is the whole thing that like now Elon Musk is wrapped up in all this stuff. So we can have a quick look to see what DWAC is doing. Obviously, I'm obsessed right now with these tech names. DWAC, okay, a nice little move upside. Still that 2%. No, there's not too many stocks green today. So Digital World Acquisition Corp here, below the 50 period. Below $50. This name has been wild, obviously. I feel like it's found a base down here around 40, so trade it as you wish. I'm not going to be looking at that today, but hey, lots of opportunities here in DWAC for sure. When this name gets going, I don't know. Like I'm interested to see. First of all, it's still a SPAC. First of all, and then I want to see the earnings. I want to see how this plays out because honestly, as of right now, we don't know anything. Is there any advertising on the site? What are they paying? What does that look like? What are the daily active users? Things like that. So a lot still to come here on Digital World Acquisition Corp. Still a SPAC.
Yeah, and still, and also too, like it barely made this break at 45 here. Like you just. I don't know, like it didn't really get going. If it can hold above 45, I think that's going to be the key thing for DWAC, realistically. I know Twitter's been under pressure, and we've talked about this. The deal, will it happen, will it not? Is Elon going to drop the price? It's caught a bit. It is up a little bit today. Now, keep in mind, like Tesla falling, like the lower Tesla gets, I guess the more pressure, whatever. Like the more pressure that gets on it, you would think that Twitter would fall to the downside, like Elon might pull the deal. However, it actually just rallied pretty heavily. So a bit of a counter-intuitive move, for lack of a better word, when it comes to Twitter. But DWAC, yeah, it needs to hold above 45 before it gets too exciting. Whoever took that fill on UVXY, congratulations. Maybe they were, maybe they were covering something there, but after it filled that price, it's just shot to the upside. You can see some buyers stepping in. That's why we might get a move back into the downside, but we're still reversing that trend pretty heavily. I still think you know, I'm going to hold on to the short. I'm probably going to reload the short on UVXY if it comes in. I kind of feel like we've made a bit of a turn.
Yeah, no, for sure. Look, we're really super excited. We hit 300,000 subscribers this week, and then unfortunately today we say goodbye to Miss V. But what an exciting day to do that. I mean, there's been so much movement here today. Let's just go over some levels quickly here because we're into AMD. So look, that was, oh, we have a bad wick there. That's okay. We could still look at it. So obviously we got excited there. We got a 90-25 bid or whatever breaking there. We thought we liked that break. Obviously the break should have been at 91, but that's okay. And I just want to give everyone an idea of where I'm going to get out. 89.50 breaks. We're going to be out. Just make sure I have that order out. I do. For AMD, we'll average in on this 50 period right here of around 89.70 or so. If we can get that bid, we'll average into that, and then we'll drop it off if it breaks 89.50. We just don't need to be wrong again on the longs. I mean, I'd like it to explode to the upside. That'd be great. But if it doesn't, we're not going to be foolish here and think that this market can't give everything back today. So it's still down that 2.3%. Here's the nice move, right? And I said I'm long Apple. Why did we go long Apple there? For me, it was pretty simple. We took down this level right here, this 134.30. It was this top right here. I mean, it's 134.50 basically that we hit to the long side. You can see where we're long 134.40. So that was exciting. We took that upside. Our best outs near that 135, about 134.70. So it's only our 50, 60 cent win, right? Remember, we took $7 on this short. That's we also got out of the short there as well. So actually, I guess it was 650 on the downside. And then when it was working to the upside, we scalped some out. But if this trade's going to work, then the NASDAQ has to stay above this 50 period, which is 11,575. So if you're looking at the NASDAQ in relationship to some of your trades, that's the level that I'm looking at right now. That's why I have the NASDAQ down here. So, you know, let's just relax a little bit. Let's see what Tesla did on that move maybe quickly
it
here.
It just spiked to 650.
So it only got to 650.
And back to 45, which has been an interesting level, by the way, 45. Like that was, it was a big resistance. I was scalping this level into this level pretty much the entire time. So that's why once we hold above, and I'm trying to scalp it again, but it's on the other side of the trade. So it was a good level into 645. It's now trying to hold below, just try to hold above it. If it can't hold 45, like that's the one that worries you, then retest those lows. So yeah, I mean, the market's going to fall here. I should have taken that UVXY off. That actually went back into 1680, and now we're back to 1714. So it went from like gliding 5 cents at a time to moving like 20 pennies at a time, which trust me, it was not trading like this at any point today until like 5 minutes ago, UVXY went nuts.
Brendan, what's up, big dog?
NXP moving again here, guys. This is another monkeypox stock. So back to day highs here on some volume for TNXP.
Oh, no, not monkeypox again. Okay, so we'll look at that TNXP. Neil's going to call it up for you. I just want to look because our Facebook trade, again, long, out. We didn't get out at the very top, but, you know, what are you going to do? We don't have a big position on Facebook. I am looking to buy some more down here against this 189, but it needs to come in a lot more. I don't want to chase this market here. Like, if it's going to fade, you know, we can let it come in. Like, normally I'd be a buyer right here of Facebook, but we're going to let it come into these levels where we bought previously. And then that way we know where we're wrong, right? We're going to be wrong if it breaks this 189.50 or so. So we're going to watch out for that. That's, I mean, right here is 189.50, right? So, whoops, that's the wrong, here it is right here. That's 189.50 right here. So, you know, if that comes in, which it's doing right now and breaks, then we're going to get away from Facebook. But yeah, there goes TNXP. Neil, you got that over there, I guess?
Yeah, I wasn't watching this one. I've been watching SIGA, which SIGA's actually pretty much dead at this point, and then GovX, which ceased or stopped following SIGA, at least to my chagrin. But that one trying to put in a wick top through 125, although it did 2 times before, it didn't work out. But TNXP, this is, I think, the reason why the group is lifting again, because it just broke out. It's got some room to run, but I'm not really seeing a lot of volume on this. Like, you can't even, does that even register? Like, yeah, it doesn't even, barely even register the volume. Like, trust me, it is more volume than normal, I should say, but it just got through this 235 area. 250 stands on the top. I really do think that these names as a group, they just started this move like a couple of days ago, so there is room to run. But it churned into this on not a lot of volume. Like, that is a very low volume move. Less than we had on the dump, less than we had yesterday, pretty much the same that we had on a failed move at the close. So I'd be a little skeptical about TNXP, and wow, just got the heck out of Dodge on Tesla pretty quick. As soon as it tried to hold that 645, now we're just retesting those lows. Someone shouted out Intel to me this afternoon and said, are you looking at Intel? I think it was like 40.20 or so. I mean, 40 even, yeah, that's a nice round number. I'll probably be involved in that if I can, but yeah, we're not there yet. That's a little bit of ways away. I did jump back into some Affirm shares. I said on that last little curl, I haven't taken anything out yet. When in doubt, short Affirm. That's usually going to work out for me. And as I said, it's getting really spicy. I don't know if any of you guys are actually trading UVXY. I know the main group I was talking to yesterday, Dom and a few of others. Yeah, that is going absolutely ham. So I'm not averaging into it because I've never seen anything like this on UVXY, to be honest with you.
All right. Yeah, so we got out of our Apple trade, but I'm just wondering if that was the bottom sort of wick there that we got, because we got it and then it ripped right back up. So I'm right back in one more time. And like I said, we're just going to give this like through 80s. If Apple breaks 80s there, then we'll get out. So we'll give this last trade just 20 pennies. That's it. So this is going to be the risk to reward type of stuff. Like, we're already in the money 7 or 8, but we're going to wait for a higher move here in Apple and put our stop at that 133.79 right there, right where it tested there. If it breaks lower, then we're going to get out of Apple. So I want to be in this name in case there is a late day move. Like, there it goes right back up to the upside. So, you know, if I could take a piece out for 20 cents, we'll do that, and then we'll go 1-to-1 from there. So here goes Apple. We just bought it back, and there's the out. So far, so good there in what's a roller coaster ride today for these NASDAQ stocks. So we're back into Apple right now. AMD is teetering as well, and so is Facebook. So look, we made a lot of money back, man. We made back more than double what we were down at one point, and the big trade for me was this Facebook long. We basically closed our eyes, put this on, and said, let's see if it, and this was during the you know, when the NASDAQ was just getting absolutely clobbered. At some point, there is relief buy, and you take the risk, right? But look where we're coming right back in now. So we're coming right back in on Facebook, but that was a big trade for me. That's 188. This is 190. That's 191, right? So we have some more love here for some of these names. Let's see if Facebook can hold out right now. But for now, here comes Apple. It's a new trade for us. Neil, I don't know what you think about the market right now. I know you're looking at UVXY, but I think we're going to fall down again, and I got to look for some shorts. It might be Microsoft time.
I mean, I reloaded Affirm because that one made sense to me, but it looks so weak, and I kept saying, I keep looking for bids. You always do. It happens to you when you see these numbers, and I'm going to bring one up because it was put in the chat. Disney's almost at $100, and it did bounce off exactly 100. So this was a bit of a missed opportunity on Disney to maybe catch it at just that even dollar. If we get there again, chances it holds, I don't know, 1 chance in 3, but if your risk to reward is good enough, you're literally long 5s in front of 100. That's not that bad, but that might be a reverse. That's crazy to say. 100 on Disney, this is what it looks like. It's not exactly pretty, Disney's chart on the daily, but 100, that's a level I'll have to play. It's kind of like that Intel 40. You're just going to have to go with it. And I am still, and thank you, was it a Harley Quinn there? I think that's what I just saw. Maybe I read it wrong, but thank you guys so much. Every time you shout something out, hey, maybe we can't catch everything in the market, but we do try to find as much as we can, especially with the news that Brendan brings. I didn't even remember Disney was getting close to that $100 mark, but I did want to come back. Like, the liquidity that was there has not come back into UVXY. Like I said, it's my second day trading it, so it feels like I should be like reloading this right here at 17.20. It makes all the sense in the world. This is what I had drawn on my chart here from yesterday's action. This was the lower high where I didn't make the reload yesterday, and that ended up being an obvious reload spot at this exact same price. You know what? What am I doing? Come on. I just showed it to you. If we get back, if we hold this and start heading back down below 17.20, I'm going to put the reload on UVXY, which oddly enough is kind of betting that we get a bit of a bounce here. So, if I'm going to be doing that, I do have the short and Affirm, which sort of balances it out. But yeah, there's UVXY. Let's see if I can't get into this little bit of a curl here. It has been working for me, so we'll go back to that well.
Did I hear Brendan?
There's a move in coals, guys. Just a heads up, KSS, big volume spike, move up to 41.5 there. Just double checking. I'm not seeing anything at first glance, but just double checking. This is one obviously that's been involved in some takeover chatter recently.
Remember I just said like, hey, you know what? Let's look to get short Microsoft. Hey, what's up? I like that view. Next week, man, next week, those desks are full. Look at Microsoft. So in all that chaos, we got out there, right? So that was a nice short off 250 when 250 broke. But look what's happened since then. Microsoft absolutely falling off a cliff here. Once that 250 level was broken, there's been no looking back, right? This reminds me of that Apple trade when there was no looking back once it broke through 150. Now, here comes Softy back in one more time, right? There is that break for Microsoft on the daily. Broke through 250. You could see, whoops, right here. Where's the two? Is this a daily? Yeah, we had 250 back there, but I don't see it on here anymore. But 250 was right there, May 12th, came in. We were just like dancing on that level. Once it broke, now it's down $3. So Microsoft continues to be weak here today into that number of 250. I mean, to short it into this level, 247.50, I think that's probably worth the one last shot here for that. If it does come back up, let's see if we get a little closer to, I mean, we're close now, but we are long AMD, so we can see where that goes if the market does bounce back up. But like you can see here, we're below the 50 period. Remember what I said? If this 50 period doesn't hold, then we really got to think about short, and it's not holding right now. We have the market on close imbalances in about 35 minutes, so that should be a doozy today. Remember, oh yeah, is it the third Friday? Yeah, yeah, it has to be, yeah. The third Friday today on a nasty week. Yeah, there could be some market on close imbalances here that impact this market. So let's get ready to rock and roll for that. Again, Microsoft back to this 247.50, probably worth one shot on a short there. And then if it breaks higher, you just get out right away. So 247.50, you got to short the names that have been getting killed here. Microsoft, no bounce back at all. You know, the NASDAQ's trying, Microsoft's hitting new lows. So I think we found the name to pick on here for the short side, and it's going to be Microsoft breaking through that 250. The sad thing is, honestly, we saw Apple go from 150 to 133. Like, where does that mean Microsoft goes now? Because Microsoft's 250. So you could test.
Well,
and
if
I
you
don't
do
want
the extrapolation.
That's what I mean. Like, are you testing
222?
I was going to say, like, are we going to like be looking at 2.25, 220, 200 soon for Microsoft? Next week is going to be so important for this name. Either it gets back above that 250 or it's see you later to the downside.
Yeah, it absolutely could be, and that's the reality of it. I think this NU stock, the was it the Brazilian SoFi? Is that
that's what they were
called?
claiming, but
yeah, down 17%, just made a fresh low of the day. Okay, and here I'm thinking, I'm looking at the worst of it with Tesla. You're looking at the worst of it with, I don't know, you throw out any name that you really want. There's so many of them, firms down 10%, but new down 16%, fresh lows. This has been an abject disaster since it came to market. It didn't happen up there. It's got a low that still hasn't been broken, by the way. So if you go back, like 330, if you go back far enough, is going to be that absolute bottom. If we see anywhere close to that, I mean, that's going to be worth it. Watch for a 350 bid. That could definitely come into play. I see people talking about GameStop. I don't really see an obvious level here. It's 90. If 90 goes, GameStop, like, what do you see below that, right? Like, anytime you see a floor that can break, usually you want to be a part of it when it goes. To the short side, I should say. You don't want to be caught in the long when that happens. But yeah, that's where you want it on GameStop. 95 is a pretty good level for that as well. But count me out of just these random prices in the middle. We don't like to diddle in the middle when it comes to some of these names, and that's why we've been sort of staying away from them. Lucid, I'm still on the bid 17. It looks like it's having trouble getting back through 18 even, and I find myself with the UVXY short wanting some, because that's basically a long, right? So I want to find some shorts in this that aren't necessarily a firm. And Lucid here off of 18 looks about as good as any. I'm watching, monitoring Tesla, but nothing's really setting up here. But Lucid might just be it. It's close enough to that 18 level that we definitely have a bit of an out. And of course, we are sort of hedged here with the UVXY reload, actually.
Okay, so we just got into Microsoft, and yeah, not going well right now for some reason. So we just took in the short right now onto Softy. You know, it was breaking lower. The futures don't seem to want to do anything except for come back in. So right now we're short Microsoft into this level. We said we wanted to go short something. We picked on Softy here. Let's see where it goes. We're short right now at 246.75, so that's all good. But like, you got to sort of give this a little bit of room. So at least 247.50 there, but I don't know, like, is it too far here? We just talked about Microsoft breaking through 250 and possibly seeing lower next week. So the only thing that's going to save this is going to be a late day rally. And, you know, I don't want to give back, you know, sort of the bottom that we sort of created for ourselves here today. But again, AMD didn't work on the long, neither did Microsoft. So we're going to switch up and go into neither did AMD or Apple. But right now we are short back into Microsoft. So hey, let's go. I mean, we want this. Let's see what happens. If this comes up to 247.50, then so be it. But right now, we're going to go short Microsoft, and we're going to wait for an updated imbalance number. I mean, AMD's down 7%. Microsoft only down 2.5%. There is more room to go, but there it is. Like, now it's starting to blow to the upside. So all these longs that I had now would be great, but we're out of them, which is fine. You know, you got to have your out, so I don't really, like, hate on myself for getting out. But again, this might just give, oh, there goes Microsoft right now. Okay, what's up, Brendo?
Just quickly, guys, Boeing back to day lows here. I just saw a big volume alert there on BA. Yeah, 7% for Boeing as well. We're through that last low on the daily chart. Remember, there was positive news earlier in the week on the crash in China. Positive news for Boeing, not positive news obviously overall, but they also had a successful launch of that Starliner spacecraft today as well, but 7.5% almost for Boeing.
It just refuses to go up, man. Like, it doesn't, you can have good news, it doesn't matter, you can have the Kramer bottom. Like, when he's getting out of something a lot of times, that's been a pretty solid turn. And you know what it really looked like it was going to happen, and then, of course, there was like the next day you were just like, he got bailed up by some news there, but Boeing, you just can't get out of its way. This is not a name that I would want to bottom pick today. It's just entirely too weak. There are names that I like Intel, like I said, that 40 level, that could come into play. Might take a shot at Disney because it's a round number, but you're in the middle of air when it comes to Boeing, so you're just kind of like a chip in a chair, hope and a prayer if you're sitting on the bid of Boeing. UVXY, we got the reload, but I got to make sure I get some of this out on the scalp. This is exactly where the shelf was before. So I'm not going to look any gift horses in the mouth when it comes to this. As I said, this is only my second day trading it. Hey, you know what? It doesn't matter how long you've traded, 10 years, 20 years, 1 year, a few months. Like, if you're learning something new, you don't have to put capital towards just because you can put capital toward anything and you're an experienced trader. You can start by paper trading. And so that's what I did for literally 3 weeks on UVXY, doing my trend lines, doing my support and resistance, and playing my key levels. And then now we've managed to execute it. I've only really gone short. I haven't really found any longs in a couple of days, but I guess that'll be coming next. I'm looking for VWAP here. That doesn't really matter. It's a 1680 that can start to come in, but I'm just playing the levels. The volatility is actually picking up here. So clearly, we're not staying put. We're not staying put in this market, in this range, the way that I'm seeing here. When you see an instrument like this, and I bet you if I pull up the SPY, it'd be the same thing. You know, less liquidity on the bid ask. That means this market is getting ready to make a bit of a move because when the market makers are not comfortable making a market, it's because they fear a move is coming. And a lot of times that means one is going into this close.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, look at some of these outs. Like, we had Apple, we basically got out at the bottom there. Like, you know, we're just afraid that this market was going to fall down. You got to stick to your rules. All good, man. But yeah, that didn't age well, and neither did this AMD out. Well, the AMD out's okay. 89.40. It's only at 89.70. So or 89.50. Sorry. So that's worked out okay. But Apple has really got going. So I'm gonna remember that for next week. That Apple here off some of these bottoms can be pretty interesting. So we'll watch out for Apple now. All right. So we're short again. We just shorted some more on Microsoft. So okay. Now it's come back in. I'm going to take a piece out here if I can get it into the 90s. Our average price, remember, we're trying to get short into 248 right there. So we just took a short at 30s, and we'll see if it can fall back now in. So let's see. It just retraced a little bit for Microsoft. And again, this name has been beat down. Again, like, as if futures, like, Oh, so frustrating. And this is what the market's going to do to you, man. Like, now it wants to go up. We were just talking about being under the 50 period. Now you're well over and rocking. Normally I'm long into this, but now we're short. Frustrating there. But we picked on Softy. We got to give this up to 248, like we said. So if Softy gets back to 248, then we'll be out of this one. And once again, not a great trade on there, but we have enough room to average in. Let's average in like near this 50 period or so, and then watch to see what happens after that. But right now, Microsoft looks like it wants to get back up to the upside here. It's been crazy. We were short, cashed in for sure. But look, we're not going to go red on Microsoft no matter what happens. It just right now we have to sit through this as Microsoft trying to follow the market back to the upside. I say no. Let's see what the market says. Microsoft, one more reload around this 50 period, and then honestly, we're going to have to tap out at some point. So we'll get out at 248 if that breaks, but yuck right now for Softy. What's up, Ms. V?
Hey guys, let's do the last like o'clock with me. We have 4,500 people watching, only 600 likes. And team, you know that I'm an ambassador of likes on Trader TV Live. You know how that's important for me and the show. So please, I know you're busy. I remind you, smash that like button. We're going to celebrate all together the new chapter for Trader TV Live and for me. And yes, love you so much. Thank you for all the comments and love on the chat. I see everything, guys, and love you sincerely.
So kind, yeah, very nice. I mean, we're going to miss Ms. V for sure. We'll do this, not for the last time, but there's Ms. V right there. We took that picture, like that's probably 2 years old, you know, that one right there. So
yeah, that's original.
Yeah, we've seen Ms. V, how old?
My hair looks so bad there.
Your hair looks so bad?
Oh, that's not possible.
There, not here.
You know, yeah, it looks so nice there. Just because you said that, let me have a look at your hair one more time here. Oh, I see. You got like the ombre. Is that what it's called? Where you did the double colors there, fading back in. But
is that a real word?
Yeah.
Ombre?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Watch.
Is that really ombre? I've learned something here today. How did you know that, first of all, Sean?
There's many things I know, my friend.
I'm
There's too many things I don't know, but there's a lot of things that I know. But yeah,
I'll say that in front of my wife, and she'll look at me like, who told you that?
Yeah. You know, she might like that there. Yeah, not hombre, they're Spanish. But okay, let's get going, guys, on this. But yeah, it's a sad day, but a happy day at the same time, as all of us, regrouping, and it's going to be a good one for Ms. V. She's happy, we're happy, and stay tuned, guys. In about 20-25 minutes, we'll do something special here. So we're getting ready to rock and roll for that one as well. Hyundai Motor Group just came out and said they're going to invest $5.5 billion to build EV and battery facilities in the U.S. So I don't know if Hyundai has an ADR or anything over on the pink sheets. I don't think that's really going to affect anything right now, but nice to see some more investment coming back stateside.
They're on the pink sheet. They're in the OTC.
Yeah, they have to be on the OTC somewhere.
Yeah, I was just trying to check the symbol. A couple of things going on here. One, the UVXY just cratered. So a person, honestly, I love learning new things, and it's one of the good things about Day Trade the World is we have access to not just all the markets, but just about everything you want to be able to trade, to express a trade in. So that's going to end up working. If that's effectively along, a firm's not going to work. I'm back in this GovX, by the way, which was almost, Dominic, at the 100% club, because it closed at 73 and its high is 150. But if I'm going to short one, and then I'm shorting 115, and then we're shorting 125, 150 is the next one in line. So I sat it out till that price. I'm back into this one. We'll see if it can come down. But right now, it's like I should have longs in this market because it's really feeling like UVXY is just dying, man. When I said it wasn't going to move, it was going to definitely start to move a heck of a lot more. It's just dying. The liquidity is just falling apart on this thing, faster than even I'm expecting it to. And I'm sitting in two other shorts. I picked up Lucid and Affirm. So as much as this is working, those are just opposing positions. Whatever you make there, you're losing it on the other end with these other shorts. I got to find a long somewhere because I'm not going to get Disney 100. I'm not going to get Intel at 40. Clearly that's not going to happen here. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Tesla's really not moving. That's disappointing. Tesla, if it's not moving $10, $15, then Tesla is going nowhere. So I can't even count on that one to go.
All right. So you're starting to sort of come back in here on Softy. So we did take that fill, And this happens to me all the time where, come on, Softy. Let's see if we'll do this one more time for Ms. V. But let's see if Softy can't come to the downside right now and hopefully catapult our net here a little bit. So let's go. Now it's coming. Okay, I see you, Microsoft. Whew. Wow, we had to really hold out for that one, guys. But here it comes back in. Let's put some more on the bid right now. Look, we can't like count our chickens before they hatch, as they say. But right now it's come back in. And look at this. Wow, just like we should have waited. And this is why the 50 period is there for me. Like we should have waited for that. Instead, really, I'm okay with these shorts because it was against 247. I don't have a problem. This one should have waited. We should have, this was not any reason to short there. We should have waited for our indicator that, again, we've studied and watched for. That came into play, and now it's straight to the downside. We got pretty close to that 248, man. So that's why right now, when a stock pulls back like this, there is profit-taking opportunity. So we're going to do that. Again, not, so I shouldn't say profit-taking. We're sort of making up for our mistake here, getting out of some shares so that we can hold at least half. I've gotten out of like 30%. Hopefully we can hold it back in. We just got some sub down there, sub 247. So if this can collapse, like we almost went back to day's low there, guys. Like that went to 246.80. Like it almost stopped us out and then went almost right back to day's low. So let's see if that can continue down now. All we need is for this market to collapse and we'll have a decent one right here. Brenda, what you got?
More monkeypox. GOVX is another one. I don't know where that came from. Just made a day high there. Big break of 150, guys, for GOVX.
I know, I was in it. I was just talking to Dom about this one. Like it just took out 150. Okay, well, it just came right back. So there's 150. I was short 47s. It took out the high. It then came right back in. So it's putting one of those wick off tops, as we were saying. And we talk about making these top wicks. It happens to you. Someone asked, where did I get out of my short on IMMX? If you're watching the morning show, I reversed long on IMMX. And then you guys told me some random YouTuber was pumping the stock, which to me means rug pull, so I got out of the long. We don't pump stock around here. We've talked about that all the time. But I never want to be long something where someone's just trying to pump it up because usually that means it's about to end poorly. We'll see if that ends up being the case. But there was a wick top. I stopped out of this thing and then just jumped right back in. Whenever I get that wick top, I'm just going to get into it. I don't know why I'm still in Lucid either. Lucid is not moving. It's sitting right here at 18 and not wanting to go, so it's not running my stop. It's also not going anywhere. If this market goes upside, this could break into VWAP. There's a lot of names that look like that. Affirm looks like it could break. It's sitting right here at about 24, just trying to go. Can't break 24, can't fall to the downside. It's kind of in the middle of no man's land.
There goes the market.
But UVXY just continues like to show a lack of a bid. Like it's telling me the market wants to go up in UVXY.
Yeah, the market does want to go up. So there goes the market one more time, and there goes Microsoft. So that's what we're talking about when we get some out. You could be wrong on trades, but you can make them okay after all. This is going to be nasty because it's going to break 248, and I'm going to get out of about 70% of my current position when it breaks 248, but you're right back up to the high side there. The NASDAQ right now retracing almost all the way back up. So you got to watch out for this one. As there it goes, man. Microsoft getting upside, taking out 248, so yuck, that sucks. We didn't get out all of it yet, but it's back up to the upside, so downside on that one for Microsoft. We tried the short. It doesn't look like it wants that at all, and I don't even know if we should be reversing long or not, but the market definitely upside right now. I mean, look at these longs that we had in AMD, man, 89.70. It's now
Speaking
up to 91.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blowing off the top right now, guys.
Like, oh my goodness.
I still want to go short Microsoft.
1650. Like, by the way, AMD's spicy, really spicy at $91, guys. I mean, this looks like it could just be powder keg into VWAP here if it makes that breakout. So if I'm looking for a long, it might not be what I thought. I thought longs this afternoon were going to be long off of support.
Yeah.
Right? Like 100 on Disney, 40 on Intel, like that kind of a thing. But it really feels like it might be the other way, where we're just jailbreak. The ES is just churning. 38.5 going to be on the offer. So I'm looking for this break on AMD. As a matter of fact, I just got it. 91 just broke to the upside, so I'm going to finally get into a long. I mean, outside of the short on UVXY, which is continuing to print. I'm going to add AMD to the stable and see if we can't go. It's already starting to make a bit of a power move here. I'm assuming at any second a firm's going to come out that short. Lucid's that should come out any second as well. But yeah, we're going the other way here. I mean, the market found a bit of a temporary bottom. It's obviously not a good day for the market, but we found a bit of a temporary bottom. Some of these names are really trying to rally off these lows.
Yeah, we should have just held on to all of our longs, actually, not shorts. As I sit here and look, the good thing about everything is I've sort of left this one alone. Facebook right now is $1.70 in the money, long off of this, as Facebook right now taking higher, higher, higher. So as we massage ourselves into losers with Microsoft, which is unbelievable, you know, this name's working out for us. As there goes Facebook, Facebook trying to get upside. Will Facebook see VWAP soon? 193 upside for Facebook. So that's also trying to go upside right now. So again, as this market goes, pick the right names. The NASDAQ's not so bad anymore, man. Not only down 1.7%. We talked about our longer term account that we bought some Google during lunch hour. It looks like that is starting to work as well, back to the upside. So again, we don't trade this name. The spread is like $2, let alone when now it's almost $3 there when it opened up. But again, Google trying to lead as well. You're still down. This might be the worst one, down 3% today. Even Microsoft isn't down that much. So, but the one name that's up, look at Facebook. Facebook green on the day. So as bad as the NASDAQ is, Meta upside. So that's why we'll continue to hold that long and see where we can go on Meta. But hey, the imbalances now, Neil, only 20 minutes away.
Right.
They don't look too drastic. I thought I saw someone say 60 million or something like that for the imbalances. But for right now, Facebook, a nice long. Microsoft, not so good on the short. And you know what else isn't really doing anything that I thought would have been Tesla. Like I thought on this big, I mean, this is a nice move back up in the market, right? I mean, even though it's not huge, it's nice. Tesla right now, I thought it would be like above this 655, but we're still $10 shy of that. So let's go over to Brendo.
Seems like there's almost one of these a day about this time every afternoon. Here's EA, now just 1.5%, but takeover chatter, guys, around EA.
Is there though? You're right about that, Brendan. For the last few weeks, it's like 3 to 3:30. Yeah, let's just sprinkle in that somebody wants to get bought, and then every now and then it actually happens. It hasn't happened yet. I don't think there's been a single one of these deals.
Well, they had Activision.
Switch.
They had Activision Blizzard.
Well, Activision was months ago.
Oh no, but I'm saying EA Activision. I mean,
yeah, it makes some sense there.
Who was trying to buy them?
Was it a rumor?
It was just a rumor. They don't know who the buyer is.
Or maybe they're just shopping themselves.
Probably. I mean, at these valuations, I mean, who knows?
There's deals out there to be had when the market does this, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, and that's why you saw, we can go over to Robinhood, man. We saw Sam Bankman-Fried, who was on our show, the 30th richest man in the world.
Before he was in front of Congress.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Before.
Yeah. Well, you know, we have all the best guests before they become famous,
yeah,
so that's no problem.
He was only a billionaire before.
Yeah. But of FTX, right? So he stepped in. He took 7.8% of interest here in Robinhood. That's why you get that. This is only attributed to that spike up there. And of course, FTX does not have any U.S. clients. So that would make sense if there's possibly, and the reason why I thought about this, because we just talked about a buyout, you know, Robinhood down here, you want to talk about a darling that really took advantage of that whole meme stock craziness, was Robinhood. I mean, they came out to IPO back in August when basically all valuations were through the roof. Last summer was ridiculous on some of those valuations. If you could believe it, or I mean, we could believe it because the chart's right here, but Robinhood right there on a high of, I mean, forget it, $86, whatever. I'm not going to use that as the high, but you know, back and forth here, even reasonably, there was some buying and selling here, $56, $57 up there, and look where it is now. You're all the way down to 10 flat, right? So Robinhood right there. If you're going to think about something that could get acquired, I don't know. I don't know what Sam Bankman-Fried's. You know you've made it when you go by three names, right? There's the other one on his channel I can't remember, but
nice.
There's also Andrew Ross Sorkin. You know, like he's known by that, right? And so if you're known by three names, you've made it right there. So SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried there, possibly on Robinhood. So that's something to watch out for as well. But I don't think you buy a stock based on its potential buyout, because look what happened to Peloton, man. That's down to like
you can't do
$15
that.
right now.
It's a tough game to do it that way. It'd have to be so cheap for you to be only betting on that as your catalyst, but sometimes it works out for you there. Brendo?
Just a friendly reminder, guys, coming up in 15 minutes or so, we'll say, Special presentation, special gift coming for Miss V. Miss V's final day today. If you haven't heard, I'm sure you have already, but make sure you stick around right to the end of the show today. Don't go anywhere. We have bubbly waiting on ice for everyone coming up at the end of the show.
Oh my God, I feel like we should be popping that right now. Maybe my trades would be a little bit better if we pop that. No, we do not suggest.
Never.
First of all, we do not suggest
never.
drinking while working. That
Absolutely
would be,
never.
That would be ridiculous to do that.
And we've never done
and
it
we've never ever done that before.
No laughing over
All
there.
right,
No laughing. Of course, well, I mean, every now and then.
Here we go.
No.
I'm going to ask the 8 Ball, did we see the bottom today in the NASDAQ?
Gonna say yes.
This is what it's come to for me.
Gonna say
yes. Let's see. Have we seen the bottom for the NASDAQ today? Oh man, cannot predict. Come on, 8 Ball, let's go, man.
You see, this
I
is the
put the
problem.
8 Ball on the spot.
What
and that's
is the point of the 8 Ball if it's not going to make a decision? Like the
Wow,
whole
8
point is
Ball.
that you can defer and then you get to blame something else. So you can externalize the blame, which is exactly what you want to do in trading. No, we're kidding about that, but it's just a little fun that we have here. Don't get me wrong. We've never traded off the 8 Ball, nor should you. Oh goodness, I just said 8 Ball. I'm going to get out of this.
Just for fun.
I'm going to get out of this UVXY because I'm now holding AMD, which is working. So 2 days, so far so good. Working out of UVXY. Thank you guys for pointing out that it's not just good for an indicator or something to follow. It is something that we can trade. And shout out to DayTrading for having it available for us. AMD, baby, that 91 break, it's like you want to buy the dips and you want to buy in front of support. Sometimes when the market's going, you just got to pick something strong and go for it. I tried AMD at 90, it didn't work. I didn't go at 88, forget about it. It's not going to give you those prices. We're back into VWAP, about $1 in the money. The market is churning. You know what's actually possible here today? If you had told me that we were within like a buy imbalance and spitting distance of the ES going green on the session, I would have told you you're absolutely crazy and you stole our bubbly and you've been drinking it. But we're only 0.74 down on the ES. There is an actual chance that the market, well, the ES anyways, could end in the green today. And I'll tell you right now, there is only one reason why that would happen. It's because Ms. V's in the green. It's her day. So let's see that happen to the markets. Let's go.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that one bit right now, as the only thing we have left here is a $3 winner. Right now for Facebook. Look at Facebook climb right now. Like we knew we want. Notice the one thing here. This is going to look ridiculous because in a down day, I have no shorts for Facebook, but this is what we believe in. We believe in all of these longs. So we're holding this one. It's now $3 in the money. Let's see where we climb from here. Again, imbalance is coming out soon. No idea where we go from here on that, but the market seems like it wants to continue its move to the upside right now. So let's just keep on that tune, and then we'll wait. And again, if anybody has an update on any of these imbalances, I'm not really seeing anything. It's going to seem like a buy, but this Facebook, maybe we should just get this out because we are right up to VWAP right now. We are dancing. Facebook's up 1%. Never thought that would be the case here as everything now pushing long here. So there goes. Wow. I mean, maybe we'll just hold on to this, man. Look, we lost money on Microsoft. That went up against us. So we got out of that. Now we can move on. That 250 on Microsoft maybe comes into play as well, as Microsoft just broke above 250, by the way. So right now, Facebook.
We're going green, man.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, Facebook just taking that out. Wow. Let's see some more levels. Like, where are we now? I think this is enough, man. 193.50.
No.
Like that's probably enough for Facebook.
No.
So yeah, I don't know, but that one. I mean, it's already $3 in the money.
The world's Chico,
$193.50.
and everything in it. That's what you want.
Yeah. Oh, no,
you
I
know
always
that
want
line's from.
Yeah, that's from Scarface.
You better believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, look, and I'm sort of saying that tongue-in-cheek. It would be an effort for the market to try to go green here today, but it does feel like it wants to make an attempt. I just stared VWAP in the face on AMD, so maybe we got a little bit cocky about this because 92.5, that's a pretty good return, but man, this just seems so strong. And I'm still watching. I might be out of the short on UVXY, but I'm still looking at it. And man, did it ever churn? It just started absolutely churning to the downside. And I'm not making this up. And I wish at the time the camera had been on like our 2-shot, because I'm doing this and I'm watching UVXY on my screens, and then all I hear in my ear is Apple long. And the second shot, it was like Apple long, and then the bid dropped on UVXY, and it was just. And so when you think about these things, they do work together. I mean, look, the algos are pretty quick, right? Something like an Apple catches a bid and makes a strong breakout, you better believe they're going to stop making a market if they think that's going to be a turn and things are going to fall. So that's what you see with these algos. They're really, really fast. And if you're watching two things at the same time, if you can, you might see those moves start to happen. Looks like it's going to be a wild one. We have about 10 minutes till those imbalances come out. I'm not saying they're going to be big. It's just that it is the third Friday options expiration. So sometimes we do get some big movement. I still have some GovX, but I've lost on the stock today. It did fail a second time off 150. I got about a quarter of that one left. We'll see what happens. But I'm watching AMD. I think that could be spicy. I think I want to watch some retailers at 340, of course. So whether that's going to be a Home Depot, Walmart, in that pocket, of course. Today it was Ross, but the bigger ones were Home Depot and Target and Walmart.
All right. Ross. Yeah, Ross, a good name today for sure. Ross. ROST, but it's Ross Stores. All right. So there's Microsoft. Just touched that 250. And look where Microsoft kind of stopped. I mean, the market stopped. So I don't think like Microsoft themselves stopped at all there. But that high of 250.70 sort of coincides with that breaking spot right there of 250.60. So it's just funny how fast the market fell there. Not even the market, but some of these names fell once the market turned around. Like that was 250.60. It went all the way down to 249.25. So I'm like, you know what? Like, again, I don't know what to expect here. We only have 10 minutes to go, and I'm excited for Ms. V. But the thing is here, this could be another short. It's just, against that 250.70, like we're almost there right now again. So we have to give it all the way to 251 if you like it. That VWAP is at 251.30. So I think I'm going to try another short. If this ramps up, and again, look, we're long. We're long in the money. This is starting to go, man. We're trying to get the world, like Neil said up here, at 193.50. But for Microsoft here, wow, there has been a bottom put in for sure on this day, I feel like. We'll see if it tests on Monday, but like that bottom that we just shorted there, we got out of the way. It wasn't completely disastrous, but wow, what a move back up to the upside there. Fading off that 251.30 right now, so I'm feeling like that's worth a start of a position to the short side here for Softy.
Yeah, we're getting close enough to that 350, and we've got some bigger fish to fry. We're right at VWAP here on AMD. I'm thinking I should just take this trade out. I was saying don't look a gift horse in the mouth. And I feel like I shouldn't do it. I'm going to be betting. I'm going to be hoping that the market can make that bit of a rally. But that's a breakout trade overall. Like your support wasn't even there. It was just a jailbreak to the upside. We'll ring the register. We'll be happy about it. We'll do one of the power-ups there. But realistically, this market has some room to go. And the early indication, right? Like we talk about from Financial Juice all the time. You get that early indication on the imbalance. Is actually saying a small sell.
What?
Yeah, like a small sell imbalance.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
strange.
I was kind of thinking, given the fact that we're now only 0.3 away from going green on the ES, that's crazy. So I was kind of thinking it was going to be a buy imbalance. Given the move that we had off the bottom, that's very shocking to me. Like what an unbelievable reversal that we've had here in the ES. And I can blow it up for you. Man, just look at the break that we've made from the bottom. And remember, the S&P went into correction territory today. So it's bounced off that's what it is. We bounced off correction territory. So we're not holding in a bear market on the S&P. That's what we're doing essentially. So the S&P is trying not to close in bear territory.
Okay. We're doing it again. We took the short in Microsoft. It's not working. And here it goes, man. Straight up to the upside. This is going to take everything out, and we're going to get stopped out of this one. But there it is. We're trying one last time. The funny thing is, this morning we went against all the longs, and now we're going against all the shorts. And again, it's just like these levels are starting to break, and it's been a wild ride here to say, needless to say here. We'll give it one more shot. This is not going to be that big of a hit. We're going to lose 50 cents, so it'll be fine. But I think this is worth a shot to the downside, just in case someone decides to come in and sell here. I mean, that would be nice for me at some point. But again, I don't know if that's going to happen. So we're just going to wait. We have our out right here at this VWAP. If it takes it out, then we're gone. 251.50. So it's not now. Like now, we're back to flat on the stock there. We're down 10 cents now on this name. So again, not super worried, but these imbalances are going to come out, and it's looking like they're going to be bids. I mean, I know Neil said a small sell there. Okay, here comes Microsoft
like
back in, so we'll see what happens now. Hopefully it can flush lower, and we can take advantage of us holding on to this. But here it is. I guess I had a bid there at 251, so we didn't mean to do that, but we took some out there at 251. Now let's see where it goes. We're short at 251.12. Let's see if we can make something back on Microsoft into this name. So I don't know, man. The market just failed there at the top, but it feels like it wants to go again. We're well off VWAP. We're chilling out to the upside here. So with only 5 minutes to go now, let's see where these imbalances take us, guys.
And I'm going to hit another one that's for Ms. V. That train, of course, you know, the roller coaster ride that this market has been. It's been a roller coaster for me on that GovX. And so I always talk to you guys about breaking a rule. And there's a few that I actually have of these penny stocks. And I 100% broke one today. And it's like you don't realize it until it's actually happening to you. To short off $1, okay, it worked. It gave you $1 into 90 cents. When a stock holds, when you get a fail break above $1, and then it holds support and holds $1 throughout lunchtime, you do not short it until it goes parabolic. $1 is a huge psychological level. The fact that this actually held around that range all day long and eventually broke out is very, very bullish, right? So in the heat of the moment, you can be watching level 2 in the tape, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a wick top, this or that, and then lose sight of the bigger picture, which was the $1 hold on GovX, right? So the last time I broke this rule was on Sundial and got wrecked. And it happens to you no matter how long you're trading, you're going to ignore some of these. So I'm not going to get it back. Like the last trade does look good, but it has stunk the entire way through for me. But it's about this market, which Brendan mentioned to me, it's 38.40. On the S&P 500, it's 38.40. That's what it's trying to close above so that we're not in bear territory.
All right, you know what? Spin it finally. In your face, Microsoft finally coming back down. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, we're happy about this one right now. Came back in now. Microsoft, we are now $1 in the money on this short, and we took a decent size. So there it is. Yes, sir. Oh, we're on Facebook still. Sorry about that. There goes Microsoft to the downside. So finally, man. And again, it's like, you got to focus a little bit here. I mean, we're crazy, but there it goes. It goes right to VWAP, and I was like, I'll take it right there. Should have waited. We talked about that with Facebook. We talked about that with Microsoft and Apple and so on and so forth. So we actually make a hell of a lot of money back here on this short. So, and again, like I'm still in this position, a decent size. So as it's starting to come down, we're able to hold this now for $1.20 in the money. Obviously, we wish we still had the whole load. We don't, but Microsoft come back in and making us a lot happier than we just were a measly 4 minutes ago. But there it comes back. Let's take some more bids here in the teens for Softy if we can. There it is. So now we're starting to really collapse on this name. So yeah, there it goes, right? Finally, yes, Microsoft, let's go. Catapulting out now. $1.50 in the money on Microsoft. And by the way, we got out of that. You know, we're not holding for the moon, but we got out. Not a bad trade at all there for Facebook. Out on VWAP as that just dumped out. So yeah, we're excited one more time. Not only we finish our day with a great trade there on Softy, but we're also going to dip into some of that champagne over there. And we're excited to hit that up as we go. Plus, I know that Gregory is also getting.
Gregory, I already saw.
Oh, the beers are in the building?
Everything. I saw the run. They made the run. Everything is in the building. But I will say this. This is like bookending it, Sean, because remember this morning, I was just like, I kind of feel
want a beer right now.
I kind of feel like we should be putting our monkeypox stock on the watch list this morning. High of day for Sega. Congratulations, Sega.
Whatever you want to bring me.
We got to follow the Sega. That's what we got to do, because this one, it's monkeypox, man. It's going to the upside. The market is trying. It didn't quite get there, but there's still about 10 minutes to go. We have the imbalance to come through. We're popping.
What?
It's happening right now.
She's doing it.
All right, let's go.
She's doing it.
Ms. V.
Like this,
Watch
right?
out, Ms. V. Close your eyes. Don't get hit in the face. Hey!
Yeah.
It's
There
not
we go,
that
Ms.
bad.
V. Thank you so much. And then now I just can't wait for that to
we're on
get poured out right now. Yes, Gregory. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
I mean, there's champagne over there.
Who cares? Cheers, Neil.
All right, cheers.
All right. Rough day. This is for you, Ms. V. We won't be chugging this thing because we still got some trades to manage here. As the imbalances are getting ready to
I'm flat, by the way, so I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, phrase. I see the phrase. I see you, Dan Duval.
What's up with Dan Duval?
He said phrasing because something obviously got said there that, you know, it's the Archer thing. Dirty minds. I guess that's what you guys are all about.
And that's
but
what
like,
these
we're
guys
just trying to
have,
have fun.
and that's all good right now. Okay, so we're still in this trade.
I'm not changing it.
Right
We
now.
want to close positive on the day. I understand the market's weak today.
Yeah.
But Ms. V's got the green on.
Market
the
very
ES is charging to try to go green on the day, so we're going to keep the bull here because it's all about keeping Ms. V happy. That's what it's all about here today. Can she leave with a smile on her face? Can the market get green? You know we're trying to power it to the upside.
I'm just wondering about this.
I'm taking my hands off the keys here.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at TQQ here just to see what this is trying to do as the imbalances are going to be coming through right now. A nice little move to the upside there. There is some action here. The TQQ down to VWAP. Let's go long here and see what happens for this next little move here as the imbalances are coming out in about 30 seconds. I'm going to go long against this 250 VWAP level there on the TQs. So we are now long this name. Let's see where it goes. TQQ long here with only a couple seconds to go against 2650. So if that breaks, we're going to get out of this name, TQQ, with the imbalances, Neil, in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, we got 15 seconds. I'll have them up for you guys. We're good to go. I'm flat. Sean's in position, so I'll make sure we get the imbalances as they do come out. But of course, once they're out, we obviously, you got to stick around. We have something very special, of course, for Ms. V. It is her final day. We want this market upside, and here they come. Come buy side. Apple, $3 million to buy.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness, Zynga, $42 million to sell. To buy, you've got XOM, BAC, AT&T as well to buy. Microsoft, $1 million to buy. Ford is a bit of a sell. Who cares? But that is a bounce to the upside.
Let's
the market
effing go.
is. Oh, come on, give me a break. It was 0.03. It was 0.03. Almost went green. I'm telling you, man.
It's going to go green anyways.
Unbelievable charge. We're about to go green on the ES, on the backs of some strong buy imbalances, guys. Unbelievable. What an unbelievable move.
I'm back, baby. The TQQ, we go long on that one and explodes to the upside there with that big imbalance. So nice to see some of those names. We did get out of the last of our Microsoft. Obviously, we only had 5% left as that's starting to blow to the upside right now. So here we go again, man. A nice move upside on the TQQs as it's taking out some of these levels right now. So triple NASDAQ long. We ain't playing right now. So here it comes, a nice little move to the upside. We seek our revenge on the ETF. So that's a nice little move there. Upside for TQQ, and we are almost out of that. We are getting ready again here as everybody's in the building. Maggie's here. Oh,
Tony!
I see Tony Pepperoni is in the building. When Tony is here, you know things are about to get pretty special. So Tony's in the building as well for this. And look, it's been a great run, obviously. All of us here at Trader TV Live really appreciate everything that Miss V's brought to the family. So we wouldn't be here without her. No. And we say a big happy Miss V Day to everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been an absolute fun one. I'm telling you, all we want to see is I want to see green. I want to see any kind of a positive print because that's what we deserve today in this market. If you are still watching Apple, it's pairing off a little bit, but these buy imbalances have stayed. Yeah. I forgot XOM. That's also going to be there in the energy space. AMD was just an unbelievable run. Yeah, I got out of it, but it doesn't really matter. We're still going to be happy with the way that we've ended up here today with this market looking to go green. But it is all about Miss V, and I can see that bubbly. It's a full house in front of us. Yeah. I see Mark. I see everybody here, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, just let us know, guys, when you want to get that rolling, so you can talk to us in our ear. Yeah, there we go, Tony. So unfortunately, we cannot give Tony a beer because he is working at the Jays game tonight. So we do not want to. Yeah. Well, why can't I? I mean, we can have it over. Are you guys doing it on the desk?
Come and meet us down there. Okay, I see them. I see what's going on here. Yes,
ooh, here's
okay,
a tease. Here's a tease.
Little champers.
Yeah, we're not going to drink it yet. We're going to drink it with Ms. V there as well.
Is this
sorry? Don't mix champagne. Too late. Ms. V says don't mix champagne.
Which way does it go? It's like
so
beer before liquor, you will be sicker.
Never been sicker.
Never been sicker. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
Yeah.
So we've gone the other way, apparently. Oh, and there we go. Beer after whiskey
is risky.
Beer after whiskey.
Says Sharif. Right there. So thank you so much, Sharif.
But he's got a LeBron jersey on. He's a Dallas fan, so I don't know about that.
Even Michael is in the building right now. So wow. All right, this is all hands on deck here. You guys can't see it. I don't know, Fod, if you have that, I mean, you could just show everyone standing around.
Don't do the bald cam.
Wow, this is, wow, okay, now we're getting Hey, Yummies is in the building again here. Daniel from Yummies is in the building. Okay.
You can get on. It's okay.
Do we have security around here? Daniel, how's it going? Here's Daniel from Yummies right there. Okay, get off the camera. We'll talk about this after.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. You look very sharp, by the way, Michael, or Daniel. Thank you for coming from Yummies in Toronto. Like, what's going on? We need to hire somebody here to manage the door.
Anybody can walk into the trading floor at any moment they want.
Like, I have positions on right now.
No, you don't. Oh, yeah, you do.
Yes, I do. But anyways, it's okay. We're ready to rock and roll. We've already got the beer. We've got lots of stuff happening right now. Daniel from Yummies coming through. Wow. No, I say Michael's here as well. Our whole team is over there. Do you have a shot? Do that shot. People standing there if you want. The whole team is here getting ready to rock and roll. And we are going to ring the bell with Miss V. So that's going to be the big thing there as we get ready to rock and roll on that one. Chaotic Friday, I'm going to call this one here again today. So it's been a lot of fun, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. What a run we've been on. And by the way,
everybody hanging out there.
There's the shot. That's
Tony, wave. Give a wave. There's Tony there. You can't miss him right there. As everybody, there's Mark as well in the building. Lucas. You cannot see Fahad on purpose because Fahad will never show his face, apparently.
Fahad is the pokeroo.
Fahad is the Widowmaker.
He's Wilson from Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Nobody gets to know what Fahad looks like. It's a fun little secret that we have around here. But come on, Tesla, get to 666. That'd be crazy. Tesla back at 666. The market back to the upside. We're popping champagne around here.
Popping bottles, baby.
Oh, this is too much fun. I love you guys in here, like, for making jokes with Fahad, Tony in the house.
So if you see anybody like running naked at the Blue Jays game, it might be one of these guys. Like, everybody's already getting ready to go.
You can't jump anymore. They got the net up. You can't jump on the field, dude. Not anymore. You can't.
Okay. We're all going to the Jays game, by the way, today.
And I can outrun
not only that,
security.
we're also at the 500 level. So,
do you remember what happened the last time we were in the 500 section?
Yes, let's not discuss that. Okay, so here we go. As we're getting ready. Oh, Fahad. That's a good name, Fahad. Yeah, that's a good one there.
I'm not making this up. And 100%, this was not myself or Sean. It had nothing to do with our party. But the last time we were in the 500 section, they got rid of selling alcohol in the 500 section for 2 months. We were at that game, and that was the last time they did it. Yeah. It was wild, baby.
May or may not have anything to do with us.
Nothing to do with us.
So I don't know what the plan is here. Like, when are we throwing?
We're live, and we're kind of figuring this out. I think we're all going to be congregating. We're all going to ring the bell together. That's what's going to happen.
Okay,
we're all going to ring the bell together.
Okay, but what about? Okay, so. All right, so we're going to give the gift to Miss V at some point. Wow, this is getting, I don't know if you have that shot there. You might as well show it, Fahad. I mean, there's a little bit of chaos happening right now. There's Daniel from Yummies. He's on the air right now. There's Miss V. There's Tony. Everybody's ready to rock and roll right now. Maggie's in the building as well. With only 3 minutes to go, I'm just going to close out my trade. We have a nice one here on the TQQ. I got to get over there. It's now blowing up. There it is. We are now out. TQQ gave us that trade. I'm going to cancel all the stop orders. Wow, I've even been watching the chat, guys, so I hope everything was great. This has been such a fantastic...
Fahad is Kaiser Sose.
Yes, very, very good one here.
He is Kaiser Sose. Why not? He doesn't exist.
This is a great test for our mics, as it's pretty loud here. So hopefully if you guys aren't picking up any background noise,
it's wild,
you can see over our shoulder now. There's Maggie. Everything's getting ready to rock and roll. We're getting ready here for the close. Once again, thank you. Cam. Yeah, thank you to everybody.
Stop it with the bald cam, people.
Fahad will be eliminated very quickly if that continues. But I did want to give a big shout out here. Come to my screen because before we celebrate, and I'm going to let Neil go over there. I'm going to come in a minute. We also had 300,000 subscribers this week. So I want to give a big thank you to obviously to Ms. V for that one as well. So we're really, really proud of that. We're really, really happy for everything. I hear Pratt yelling. I have no idea what he's saying. But there we go. Thank you to everybody for 300,000. Yeah, there's a party behind me right there. Am I coming over there? Okay, go ahead. Your mic is live, I guess, Brendan? Yeah. Okay, let's go over there, guys. All right, go.
All right, we are here, and it's Miss V Day, as we have been saying all day long. I mean, from everyone here, we just want to say thank you one more time to Miss V. Maggie is here. Maggie has a special gift for her to wrap up Miss V Day. I don't have a clock, so I have no idea when the close is.
You have the countdown thing?
We didn't think this through very well, but Sean's going to join us, and we're going to have a cheers.
Yeah, but I don't want
here.
to be in the background.
Maybe a trader who's watching the market can tell us when we're about to close.
Well, they're gonna yell to you. But anyways, does Ms. V have a mic on?
Yes.
All right. Any last words here, Ms. V?
Yes, first of all, trading family, I love you so much. You will remain my trading family forever. Brandon, Sean, Neil, guys, I love you so much. I'm thankful for you, like for everything, for your patience. I learned so much with you. I thank all the team, Lucas, Fahad, Maggie, Katie, Liz, Rob, Randy, the George King, and everybody, guys. I just love you. Thank you for this opportunity, and you will remain my family forever. Cheers.
It's been an amazing 2.5 years, almost. We thank Ms. V for everything she's done for the show and for everyone here. So, cheers to you.
Cheers
on Ms.
to
V's
everybody.
Day.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
Cheers.
How much time left? 20 seconds. Also, Yummy's Toronto is in the building here as well. So thank you for
Providing
coming
the food
through.
today.
There we go. Okay, how
Ms.
much
V
time
Day.
is left now? Because we don't want to miss this. 42 seconds. Oh my God, we have lots of time. Okay, what are we going to talk about? Neil,
20
go ahead.
seconds.
Well, there's one thing I want to say. The pleasure has all been ours, and I hope you continue to trade Tesla
Now,
some way,
7,
someday. Gotta keep
6,
trading.
5, 4,
First ever
3,
here.
2, 1.
Hey! Happy Valeria Day! And there it is. All right, cheers, Valeria, once again. Thank you so much for everything. We really, really appreciate that. So, I don't know, do we want to go back to our desks here to wrap this up or what? So let's do that as we come back right now to our desks.
It smells so
But wow,
nice.
how did the, there it is. Woo! How did the day wind up, I wonder? Because it looks like, wow, the TQ, I'm trying to blew up there at the end. You can see all the traders
get green?
in the background. Traders excited, man. They're very, very excited right now. So again,
Yes!
what happened?
Market's green, baby.
Market is green. So whenever Brendan's ready,
And you guys said get rid of the bull. If I'm telling you don't get rid of the bull, the market's going green. I'll tell you that right now.
net pause. So we have our first ever Hall of Fame inductee, Miss V. Valeria is now in the Trader TV Live Hall of Fame. Who will follow next? Nobody knows, but we'll go over there. Brendan, are you ready to rock and roll over there? All right, let's go over to Brendan and figure out how the markets ended up.
I am ready. Unfortunately, Google Slides is not. My quote board is not loading right now, but guys, I can promise you, there we go, now we can show it. I can promise you the market did get positive. The S&P all the way back to positive territory, 0.05. Fahad, thank you. 0.05 for the S&P, 0.06 for the Dow, the NASDAQ 0.3 lagged ever so slightly, but hey, guys, we got there on Miss V Day.
And that's what it's all about. I know we usually care about the NASDAQ, but come on, man. What an unbelievable bounce that was. It was so fun to be able to celebrate what is going to be obviously a bit of a sad occasion for us losing Miss V, but celebrating her time here, celebrating 300,000, celebrating you guys in the chat. Thank you so much. The super chats, everything.
The best part of all of that was she called Randy the Jorts King or something like that. That was, to me, that was
Randy today.
To me, probably buying more jorts, but that was an absolutely fantastic look. I mean, if Miss V's mic is working, I mean, why don't we just let her? Why don't we let her finish this off? But obviously, Miss V, it's been such a pleasure to work with you. I think we all have the same thoughts for that, and we wish you your best of luck. So, on that note, why don't you wrap up the show here, and then we'll end it on that.
Guys, I love you so much. Thank you again. Oh my God, what a wonderful team. I could only dream about this. Again, I wish you all the best. I promise I will be coming on the chat. You will remind my family forever. Thank you for this opportunity. And good luck to everyone. Stay profitable, guys.
All right, I guess, all right, I thought she was going to wrap it up, but that's good. Thank you, Ms. V. Very great words. Look, for our whole Trader TV Live team, I mean, we're all here. You just saw them on there. Oh! We have a video to play. Okay, good. So we're going to end on this video. So for everybody here, thank you so much. We're going to play the video now. Stay tuned for a video regarding Miss V. Let's roll it, Fahad.
Thank you, Sean, Neil, and Brandon, for this great explanation.
Guys, I'll be your live chat maestro, so don't be shy. Ask us questions.
Stay healthy and stay focused. Back to the guys.
Every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. much. And happy National Cheese Souffle Day.
He likes it? No, be honest.
It's good, honestly.
Oh, there you
Very
go.
good.
It's good.
No egg taste at all.
Locked and loaded and ready to go. Miss V is ready.
Love you so much.
See you tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Пока-пока.